Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Potential savings and prices vary, including based on how you buy. Allstate North American Insurance Company.
Don't miss out on any of the action as the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
Bradley for three. Jaden Bradley has come alive in the second half.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sponsored by Rumble. From spicy podcasts to wild live streams, there's always something new on Rumble. Watch, comment, and connect with a real community that's actually awake. Comment in the live chat and talk directly to your favorite streamers. Rumble provides you with your daily dose of uncensored fun, facts, and fire. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play Store today. Choose an open internet and free expression. Choose rumble.com today.
Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Because of the gospel rescue missions, my kids still have their dad. I lived a life on the streets, ultimately leading me to prison. I came to the gospel rescue mission not looking for shelter, but for a second chance to be a better person. I worked the program, gave my life to Christ, and got baptized. And when I came out of that water, it was like all the weight of my old self stayed behind.
Your support does more than rewrite stories like Ryan's. It transforms generations. If you want to help or if you need help, go to grmtucson.com.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And the big league RBI leader up in an RBI spot right here. Uh-oh. Another hit Diamondback batter. And he's holding his hand.
We're going to have to start handing out those hand pads to a bunch of the guys on this ball club.
He is in obvious discomfort. Gino is down on one knee. And you could not have picked a worse time for this. The hottest hitter in the game right now.
Yeah. I mean, it is just becoming a laundry list of injuries for your Arizona Diamondbacks. Hopefully, the injury to Eugenio Suarez, which is being listed at the moment as a right hand contusion. I love these phrases they come up with. Right hand contusion is not anything real serious, because the Diamondbacks just cannot afford another person to go out. Can you play third base? Can you play the outfield? Can you hit? Because the Diamondbacks kind of need you right now.
Can you hit 300 home runs from the country you're from?
Exactly. I was looking at that list again last night after we talked about that yesterday. So you got Gino, who's probably not going to play tonight. I haven't seen the lineup yet for tonight's game, which gets going here in a little over an hour. But I would imagine that Gino is not in the lineup. In fact, let's hear from the skipper, Torey Lovello, just on everybody that's dealing with something at the moment with this Diamondbacks team.
Corbin has a chip fracture in his left wrist. So that's still a little bit confusing to all of us. It's on the back of his hand. The impact of the ball hit the side of his hand. It just goes to show you how hard these guys are throwing today. And there's definitely that fracture in there. He's going to continue to get some opinions just to find out what that official diagnosis means and what the time frame will be. So I don't have any of that information. Gino has a right hand contusion. X-rays are negative, and he'll be day-to-day. So we continue to hope that we dodged the bullet there. When he came off the field, he's probably one of the toughest players that we have, one of the toughest players I've ever managed. And when he didn't resist coming out of the game, we were collectively holding our breath. But I think we're in a good spot, and we're hoping that that day-to-day news keeps progressing to the point where he plays a lot sooner than later. Josh Naylor has right shoulder discomfort. You could see the swing that he took. It was one where he hung onto the bat with that long follow through. that creates a lot of leverage, and that's why he's such a great hitter. But once again, doesn't want to come out of the lineup, and the trainer did a great job. Max did a great job. He pushed as hard as he could to say, let's just make sure. And he came out, and he'll be day-to-day as well.
Now, the good news is that Josh Naylor is in the lineup today. We've got the lineup now, and Josh Naylor is in the lineup. It'll be Geraldo Perdomo batting first. Ketel Marte will hit second. Pavin Smith, we'll get to Pavin Smith in a moment, had an unbelievable game last night. Hits third. Josh Naylor is in the cleanup spot. He'll be the DH after he took that awkward swing, let go of the bat, kind of wrapped it around his head. And you hate to see that because the Naylor's a guy that, again, he was with my team, the Tribe, for years and love him, but he spends some time. He'll spend some time on the injured list every single year with various ailments like that, abs, obliques, that kind of thing. So good to see, though, that Josh is in the lineup tonight. Lourdes Gurriel in left field. Jake McCarthy has been called up. That is one of the moves that was made today. That was really the only move because they did put Corbin Carroll on the injured list. So Jake McCarthy is back from AAA. Ildemaro Vargas will play third base in lieu of Gino, who's not in the lineup tonight. Alec Thomas, obviously, in center field. And then catching tonight for the Diamondbacks will be Herrera. Herrera is in there to catch this evening for the Diamondbacks. Now, that's another position where the Diamondbacks are dealing with injuries. So you've got Jose Herrera in there tonight. Gabby Moreno, obviously, is on the 10-day IL. Adrian Del Castillo, you got him in the minor leagues, but he's hurt down in AAA. So they've had to go out and get James McCann. They have signed James McCann. I believe he was in AAA with the Braves organization. We will hear from him coming up a little bit later. But this is what your Snakes are dealing with right now. So if you've got any game left, if you think you can hit big league pitching, then the Snakes might be able to use you right now because they are fast running out of bodies there with that team.
Jordan Lawler, right? Like, we had a caller call in, wanted to see him come up. He did come up, DK. I don't know if he got a hit in his couple of weeks he was here, but I just read that he's injured.
Is he?
He's also injured with the AAA club, so he's not even available to come up right now.
No. Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of guys. That's a lot of guys. Now, the good news is that the D-backs brought out the whooping sticks last night on the Chicago White Sox.
The 1-0. Pavin slams it to right. Way back and say goodbye. Pavin Smith way out of here, and it's 5-0 Diamondbacks. Oh, he hammered that one. Here's Ketel, and there goes a fly ball. It's another one off the bat of Marte. Goodbye. Ketel Marte, his hot streak continues. That's his 14th, and make it 6-0 Diamondbacks. And Pavin's bidding for one more. High fly ball. It's on its way. It is going, and it is gone. They go back to back. Who's got a craving for Pavin? His second home run tonight.
We've got a craving for Pavin for sure when he swings the bat like that. Pavin Smith, a 2-home run game Monday night as the Diamondbacks whitewashed the White Sox 10-0 at Bank Rate, Comiskey Field, whatever they want to call it, on the south side of Chicago. Great to see Pavin Smith swinging that bat. 2 for 4 last night. Drove in 4 runs. Josh Naylor, before he kind of made that awkward swing, he drove in a couple of runs as well. Jose Herrera will get the start tonight at catcher. He also had 2 RBIs, but the big story was Eduardo Rodriguez. 6 shutout innings. He's not been pitching very well, but 6 shutout innings, 10 strikeouts for the lefty Eduardo Rodriguez to raise his record to 3-4 on the season. Arizona Wildcat grad Todd Walsh caught up with Pavin Smith after the game, asked him how that lineup they had Shane Smith, who's the starter for the White Sox, rookie who'd been pitching pretty well, but they had him at 64. They ran him out, got him out of the game, 64 pitches in 2 innings. Pavin Smith on how the lineup was able to do that.
Yeah, he's been having a great year, and we just all came in with a committed approach to kind of attack him. And a lot of us put some good swings on balls and got him out of there early. And honestly, I was doing the same thing. I was on the fastball and saw a changeup and kind of rode it out a little bit longer.
Payman, I want to ask you about this group here because I've been with you for this extraordinarily long road trip. That's how it feels. And every day something's going on. Every day it seems somebody's getting hurt, more than one.
Yeah.
How are you as a group keeping it together?
Yeah, it's tough. You know, those are your friends, and you feel for them. And obviously, they're great players, and they help our team. But having guys step up is big. And Vargas and Tim, out of nowhere, had to get in the game today, and did well for us.
It doesn't seem like a walking excuse, though. I do not see the white flag in your group.
Right. Yeah, I mean, no one's gonna feel sorry for us, so we just got to go out there and compete to the best of our abilities.
How impressed were you with Erod tonight?
Oh, he was great. Just mowing them down, consistently throwing strikes, attacking the hitters, and I think you build off that on offense.
I'll say, there you go. Pavin Smith, who, again, is back in the lineup tonight, and the Diamondbacks would love to see that punch continue. Look, Pavin Smith has always been a guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. The question for Pavin Smith is always going to be, can he hit consistent? Can he get consistent hits? That's been the issue. That's why he's kind of been stuck in that quad A, under that quad A label, where he comes up, he'll hit you some jacks, but he'll strike out a lot, not get a lot of hits, and then he's back down in Reno. But he seems to, again, has been a little bit more consistent this year, has Pavin Smith. And so that, 268. I mean, we're talking about consistency at a 268 batting average. But for Pavin Smith, that's a step in the right direction. So we'll take that. For sure. And he put on the power display last night because, he's on his career in terms of, his batting average. Career, just 247. He's just a 247 hitter. He's never hit more than 270 in any one season. The season that I think he played 145 games in 2021. That was the one year he played, was up pretty much the entire year. He had 267 that year. So he's right around what his average, or what you might call a good hitting year for Pavin Smith would be. All right, so it is the Diamondbacks and the White Sox again tonight at Rate Field. It is no longer, as J-Dub was telling me during while we were listening to the one shot there, it used to be guaranteed rate, but they are no longer guaranteed, apparently.
I was reading a bit about Comiskey, and apparently when it was first built in 1910, DK, it was the first ever concrete and steel baseball stadium in America.
Wow.
And that closed in 1990. The new Comiskey opened up in 91. Originally, it was Guaranteed Rate Field when it was rebranded, and they shortened their name and rebranded their company to Rate, so it's now Rate Field.
There you go. Rate Field.
Rolls off the tongue.
All right. We love it. We were talking about Eduardo Rodriguez last night. Let's hear from the skipper on Eduardo's performance.
You get a 2-0 lead coming out of the gate, and then 5-0 after 2. He just went out there and stayed on the attack. So real good arm speed. The body was moving right, and I think there was finish to his pitches. There was a lot of swing and miss on his fastball, and he was just pinpoint. He's throwing the ball exactly where he wanted to.
And I mentioned that to shore up their catching issues, the Diamondbacks have signed James McCann, not to be confused with Bryant McCann, who also played in the big leagues and was a catcher. James McCann gets a major league contract. He was on a minor league deal with the Braves. I mean, you'll see a lot of those guys, veteran guys, will sign minor league deals with teams and have an out usually around this time, June 1st, mid-June, when the short seasons begin, so that if they're not with a club, they might have a chance to go sign somewhere else. Well, so the Braves released McCann so he could sign with the Diamondbacks because, of course, they have a lot of issues. So, and they needed a veteran presence in there, and to make the roster move to to go along with that, the D-backs designated Erasmus Garcia for assignment. So a 1-year deal for James McCann, and he was in the AAA realm with the Braves. Gwinnett, Georgia is where their AAA team is. He was hitting .297 down there with 6 home runs and 30 RBIs. Let's hear from James McCann, who was in the clubhouse last night, about joining his new team.
We're getting right after it, and like I said, I'm going to try and get acquainted with all the guys as quickly as possible, all the pitchers, and try and get on their page. That's one of the biggest things in a pitcher-catch relationship is being on the same page. And here we are in the middle of June, so it's my job to get on their page as quickly as possible.
Got to do that for sure. A second-round pick back in 2011, taken by the Tigers. 11 seasons in the big leagues with the Tigers, the White Sox, the Mets, the Orioles. Last year with the Orioles, career .241 hitter. He has 92 big league home runs and was actually an all-star back in 2019 with the White Sox that year when he hit 18 home runs and drove in 60 runs playing for the White Sox. So James McCann, now a member of your Arizona Diamondbacks. So how you feeling about the D-backs right now? Can you hit? You still got something left in your bat? Because they might need you. They might need you.
I'll tell you how I feel, DK. I feel like the last month and a half, I've watched the Diamondbacks go 2 games under 500, get back to 500, go 3 under 500, get back to 500, go 4 under 500. It's been a real ebb and flow back and forth. Currently, 40 and 38. So despite all of these injuries, they're actually a couple of games over 500 for the first time in a while.
They are still, well, they actually did gain a half game. They are now just 7.5 games behind the Dodgers in the National League West. Dodgers in first, Giants in second, 3.5 back, San Diego 5.5 back, and then Arizona 7.5, followed by the Rockies, who are almost 30 games back in the division. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. We've got a lot to get into today. We have got the NBA draft coming up tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit about that. The kids were in the green room today, or the interview room, should I say, and we will delve into. We'll get some analysis from Jay Billis on Carter Bryant, who is projected to be a top 10 pick in tomorrow's NBA draft. So we'll see what
he's projected right now, DK, right at 10, which
right
is really funny about that KD trade.
Right, because 10 is the Phoenix Suns.
Correct.
10 is the Phoenix Suns. So we'll see if that is a decision the Suns want to make. We'll hear from Koa Pete. Koa Pete has made the U19 team that Tommy Lloyd is going to coach and take overseas. United States basketball, USA basketball. We'll hear some of what
starts Friday, I think.
Yeah, this Friday, indeed, and over in Switzerland. So we'll hear from Koa Pete on his experience so far. He has played a number of years with USA basketball. So this is not his first go-around playing on the international level. And he'll tell you a little bit about that experience and maybe some of the few things that he's hoping for in his freshman season coming up at the University of Arizona. All of that is straight ahead right now. Cricket, though, is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. We have a disabled vehicle on I-10 going westbound. This is near Casa Grande Highway, milepost 248. Prepare for some slowing out there. We also have an accident over at North Grande Avenue and West Congress Street. Congress having a little bit of the slowing there as you go through that crash area. For your weather, currently sitting at about 100 degrees, but we're going to be cooling down here once we get to about 5 p.m., finally out of the hundreds. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/2025. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management and practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
When you hear
crunch,
whine, boing,
Alaskan AC will arrive to fix it in less than 24 hours from the first crunch,
whine, boing. No matter what kind of
crunch,
whine, or boing your AC is making,
we fix it on your schedule.
That's huge. We guarantee to be there in 24 hours or less, or the repair is free. We not only get there fast, we Polar Bear promise we'll get the job done right.
We believe you deserve fresh air free of humidity in every room of your home, and you should never hear crunch,
whine, boing.
If you do, call Alaskan AC, and we guarantee we'll be there in under 24 hours.
If we don't make it, your repair will be free, no matter how big the crunch,
boing,
or whine. Wait, I thought I was whine. You're crunch.
I'm crunch. You're boing.
I don't think I'm boing. Gary's more of a boing than me. William is crunch. Schedule now and tell us who boing is. Only at AlaskanAC.com.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard, the driveway needs filling in, or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/2025. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management and practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
When Ram won its first Motor Trend Truck of the Year, it was celebrated. But after 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. And now, so does the deal with Employee Pricing Plus. Stop by your local dealer today and take home a Ram truck. Ram, 7-time Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Nothing stops Ram.
Offer valid on select 2024 and 2025 Rams for non-FCA employees and retirees. $200 admin fee applies. Not all buyers will qualify. Restrictions apply. Does not apply to leases. See dealer for details. And 6/30/25. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Yesterday, our question of the day was around the College World Series and the quick hook that was given to Coastal Carolina head coach Kevin Schnall.
On the course of the year.
What are they doing?
I think there's a conversation that was had with the first base coach, and now Kevin Schnall's been ejected from this game.
How does he throw the head coach out of the game in the first inning? I don't care what just happened. Schnall, now that he's out of the game, is going right after Campos.
Oh, well, the umpires just went down. Now Matt Schilling has been ejected from this game.
As he was walking past Campos, he had something to say. Campos with his back to the first base coach, and Campos took one look and made the gesture. He has now thrown out 2 members of the coaching staff of Carolina in the bottom of the first inning of Game 2 of the championship series.
Yeah. Gone in the first inning, Kevin Schnall and one of his assistant coaches by Tucson resident Angel Campos, a former big league umpire who umpires on the college level now. So our question of the day yesterday was, if you were Tucson resident and College World Series umpire Angel Campos, because we like to play that game, if you were Tucson resident and College World Series umpire Angel Campos, do you eject Coastal Carolina head coach Kevin Schnall for arguing the strike zone there in that first inning, or do you give him some runway because of the championship environment that was there? And Gina, I'm going to want to go and we'll want to hear from Kevin Schnall again here, what he said, and as well as Jay Johnson coming up here. But I'm going to give you the results of the poll from yesterday. And it was decidedly in the know of the folks that voted in this poll yesterday. In fact, 79% of the people, 79% of you that voted in this poll said that, no, you would not have ejected Angel Campos in that first inning for arguing the strike zone. So it was 79 to 21% no. Yes, of course, that you would have ejected Angel Campos in that first inning. I said I would, as somebody who has umpired in the past, said that I would not have done that in that particular setting, a national championship game right off the bat. I might have given Kevin Schnall some runway there in that initial first inning. Now, if it had continued to later innings, if he's still chirping in the third inning or the fourth inning, or if he's still chirping about the strike zone at some point later in the game, then maybe at that point I'll run him. But I would not have run him in the first inning.
The whole thing about umps is they clearly, there's a issue with players and coaches having a problem with their strike zone. That's basically where this all starts. And this has gone on forever, DK. But there has to be some way, some mechanism for umpires to keep that line in front of them to make sure that it doesn't ever get out of hand. Like I said yesterday, we don't know the precursor to that conversation. Kevin Schnall said that it was a very busy 25,000 seat full capacity stadium. He heard some kind of maybe a whisper of a warning to start. Came out, Angel said you had a verbal warning earlier, and Kevin Schnall's response was, that's because you missed 3 pitches, right?
Yeah.
So that's what instigated him being tossed. I think regardless of the situation, regardless that it's the second game of the National Championship College World Series, there has to be some leeway. You can't have grudges from previous games. It has to be a game-by-game, pitch-by-pitch situation. I think I would love to hear what happened before that, if there was any exchange from Angel Campos and Kevin Schnall. From the only information we have is that was the situation. He was given one warning. He went out to clarify that the warning was given and told Angel, you missed 3 pitches. That was enough for Angel Campos, and he was gone.
Yeah. We've had a couple of people that chimed in as well as voted in the poll. Danny Archuleta checks in on the Twitter, because all of our polls, in case you were wondering, are on the Twitter. He says, Angel Campos squeezed the zone to gain control. Schnall didn't like it. Schnall made his point. ESPN had been gushing over Coastal's catcher, stealing strikes all season. Yes, the moment was big. Umpire could have given Schnall some leeway, but he choked in the moment. I'm not sure if Danny is referring to the umpire choking in the moment there, or if he's referring to Schnall choking in the moment
it's
there.
Such a great point, right? Because Caden Bonine is their best player for Coastal, and he's projected to be a very high draft pick. He leads off for them at catcher, but what he does expertly is frame those pitches. So if we watched the game against Arizona, he really lightning quick brings that glove into the strike zone. If it's even an inch or two outside, he brings it in. Maybe Angel was slightly aware of that. Schnall was getting those calls because I saw quite a few calls against the Arizona batters because Caden Bodine has moved his glove so fast into the zone.
Right.
They called them strikes they probably shouldn't have been. Maybe Angel was more aware of that trick and wasn't going for it.
Exactly.
And Schnall was upset that they were getting balls called for previous pitches that were strikes because of Bodine's ability to move that glove inside so quick.
I want you to hear again from Kevin Schnall after the game, and then we'll also hear from Jay Johnson on his reaction to Schnall getting tossed. Here was Kevin Schnall after the game on Sunday.
There's 25,000 people there, and I vaguely hear a warning issued. As the head coach, I was an assistant for 24 years, and as an assistant, you're almost treated like a second level citizen, and you can't say a word. Now, as a head coach, I think it is your right to get an explanation of why we got warned. And I'm 48 years old. I shouldn't get shooed by another grown man, right? So when I come out to ask what the warning is, a grown man shooed me. So at that point, I can now hear him say, it was a warning issued for arguing balls and strikes. And at that point, I said, because you missed 3. At that point, ejected. If that warrants an ejection, I'm the first one to stand here like a man and apologize. 2 words that define our program are own it. And what does that mean is you have to own everything that you do without blame, without defending yourself, without excuses. If you guys watch the video, there was a guy that came in extremely aggressively, tripped over Campos's foot, embarrassed in front of 25,000, immediately goes 2-game suspension and said, bumping the umpire. Immediately does that. There was no bump. He was embarrassed. I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism. They'll retract it, though, because now it's excessive. And the reason why it's excessive, because I was trying to say, I didn't bump him. It is what it is, but if that warranted an ejection, man, there'd be a lot of ejections. As an umpire, I feel like it's your job to manage the game, the national championship game, with some poise, some calmness, and a little bit of tolerance.
Coach, just I guess on a more positive note, just the run you guys made here. You set a couple records for winning streaks going into the College World Series, going into the Championship Series, and just kind of what the team accomplished to get here and to get into that Championship Series in the first place.
Incredible, and that's why I feel a little gutted right now, because the talk is going to be about the ejection, not this team, and it's not right. The front row seat should be the 2025 Coastal Carolina baseball team, not what happened in the first inning.
Well, that's like what we talked about last week when we were dealing with the fight in the WNBA, and nobody's going to want to talk about the game. Everybody's going to want to talk about the fighting or the arguing that happened during the game. That's just the reality of what that is, Kevin Schnall. Before we hear from Jay Johnson and get his thoughts on all this, if you're an umpire, because again, I told you my story as an umpire, but I didn't. Again, I was umpiring little kids. I was umpiring little league, high school. High school was the highest realm that I ever umpired. But if you're an umpire, I want to know what you thought of all this. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the phone number. You can call us. You can text us. If you're an umpire, if you're umpiring right now, I don't care what level it is. If you're umpiring. We're in the middle of Little League season. We'll talk about that today. We got a championship game going on the north side. We'll get into that a little bit later. If you're a Little League umpire, if you're a high school umpire, if you're umpiring JC games over at Pima College or any of the summer leagues, we got, the Corn Belt, the what do they call it? The Sun Belt League. Corn Belt. That's my old high school league in Illinois. The Sun Belt League over at Keno Complex. If you're an umpire, I want to hear from you on what you thought of what happened in that first inning and how you would have handled it. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Let's hear from Jay Johnson on his thoughts about Kevin Schnall getting tossed the day after. There was an incident in it was either in the game one where Jay probably could have gotten tossed, and he displayed the restraint necessary to stay in the game. Let's hear what he thought about Kevin Schnall's situation.
Yeah, that's my friend too, and somebody I have great respect for. I didn't have any reaction because I was so locked into what we needed to do in the game, and I was ejected for arguing balls and strikes this year, and they don't like that when you argue balls and strikes. And I'm not sure really what happened. I saw the first base coach arguing, and then he came out, and I don't know what was said, and don't want to get into any of that. This is a tough situation, but I literally moved past it immediately because, I needed to be locked in on what our players needed from our coaching staff.
There you go. Jay Johnson, always locked in to the moment. It's interesting, though. It's just an interesting situation. Chris Peterson, I don't think he's any relation to our guy Bryant Peterson, but they spell their last names the same. Chris Peterson checks in on Twitter. He said, I've seen 10 times in the regular season of NCAA baseball not called, in which somebody was arguing, a coach or a manager or a head coach or base coach was arguing, and they did not eject him, I think is what Chris Peterson is saying here. That was an ego trip by Angel Campos, and have no clue, he says, I have no clue why they threw out the first base coach, too. Well, it was clear. He said something to the umpiring staff when he was walking by back towards first base. Excessive is what they call it. Excessive arguing. Once you get into an argument situation, you cannot continue the argument. And that's what happened with the first base coach. He continued the argument, and he was ejected as a result.
The way I heard was that he was ejected because he tripped over the foot. And they claimed that he had bumped the umpire. And that was the case for the original ejection. And then both of them, the first base coach and Schnall, would be secondarily arguing after they were already ejected,
right,
would have been ineligible to coach in the next game because that's an automatic 2-game suspension after your first ejection.
There you go. But if you're an umpire, I want to hear from you today. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. At the moment, we've got Dragon Ball getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have an accident with injuries reported over at East 6th Street and North Campbell Avenue. This one causing slowdowns in all directions as you get to the intersection there. Also, a hit and run reported at North Oracle Road and West Suffolk Drive. This one causing slowdowns on both north and southbound Oracle. For your weather, again, still at 100 degrees, but we'll be out of the hundreds by 5 o'clock and into 87 by 9 p.m. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos I'll fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
O'Reilly
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Back to Eugene Snarkle, rising UberTube star, and his best friend, Doug.
Eugene, you've been working on my car's brakes for 3 days now. Is there a problem? And what's with all the orange stuff on your t-shirt?
Research, Doug.
The orange stuff is research?
No, I'm doing research for my next UberTube video on fixing brakes. I need the Chizo snack food to power my 72-hour video binges. It gets a little messy, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
It looks like the only sacrifice is my car, and maybe that white t-shirt covered in Chizo dust.
So, can you hand me that metal thingy?
You mean this wrench?
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
Eugene, I need my keys. I'm heading to Jack Furrier's.
Great choice, Doug. You know, brake repair doesn't have to be expensive to be good. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we've been providing award-winning service since 1960, including top-quality brake repairs at the best prices in town. Call, stop by, or go online to make an appointment. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
Shop 4th of July savings at the Home Depot right now and get up to 40% off, plus up to an extra $600 off select appliances with free delivery, like Samsung. From all-in-one washer dryers to smart refrigerators, upgrade to tech you can trust with Samsung appliances. The Home Depot has what you need to simplify your routine. Don't miss 4th of July appliance savings at the Home Depot. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $396 or more. Offer valid June 18th through July 9th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Ugh, kitchen ants, runaway roaches, a spider. A spider! Relax, just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo, people friendly, bug deadly.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/music. That's ethos.com/music.
The Starbucks Summer Berry Refresher is officially back. Bold notes of raspberry, blueberry, and blackberry shaken with ice and poured over raspberry-flavored pearls. Try it with lemonade or coconut milk. Available for a limited time. Your Summer Berry Refresher is ready at Starbucks.
This is Andrew Perloff with a Sports Minute. Looking back, Tyrese Halliburton should not have gone out there with a calf strain in the NBA Finals. But Halliburton is very clear. He has no regrets, but his injury raises major questions. Is it smart to tough it out with these kinds of injuries? Even in the finals, is it worth it? Now the Pacers' once bright future is in jeopardy. If you're a Pacers fan right now, you can't feel great. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Thank you for making Total Wine & More America's #1 online source for spirits, beer, and wine. Better than all those delivery apps. Total Wine's prices are up to 30% lower with super fast delivery and no hidden fees. Order direct at TotalWine.com and pay less today.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Uber Eats has deals all summer long. Get Burger King, Subway, Popeyes, and hundreds more local favorites and savor every last bite. That sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And I'm 48 years old. I shouldn't get shooed by another grown man. There was a guy that came in extremely aggressively, tripped over Campos's foot, embarrassed in front of 25,000. I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism.
Somebody tweeted out that they thought that might be the best soundbite of the year so far in sports. That I should not be held responsible for a grown man's athleticism. Great stuff. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Lost in all of this hubbub about the ejection of Kevin Schnall in the first inning of the final game of the College World Series was the fact that LSU won another championship. Jay Johnson, Arizona's former head coach, now has 2 titles in the last 3 years at LSU since his move out of here. He left, you'll remember, after the end of the 2021 season. A lot of Arizona fans still not happy about the way that whole situation went down with Jay leaving to go to LSU. A lot of people felt like he had made that decision prior to the Wildcats' appearance in the World Series. And so there's some bad blood still there within this fan base as it relates to Jay Johnson, who has now taken that opportunity at LSU and turned it into 2 national championships. The fastest coach to get to 2 national championships in NCAA Division I baseball history. Let's hear from Jay Johnson and his thoughts on winning a second national championship.
Unbelievable. I'm so proud right now. It's not to be taken for granted. Being here 2 years ago, that was special. Greatest night of my life. This is equal and maybe even tops in some ways. It was probably a year ago today. We had 12 players in our program that actually played on the field for us in 2024. 12. That's not a lot. And then, as Coach Bertman would say, we ended up with some really good fortune. We had to go to work. We got the really talented freshmen through the high school draft or through the Major League Baseball draft. And in a month's time, we were able to add Chris, we were able to add Anthony, Zach Cowan, Luis Hernandez, Danny Dickinson, to those 12 guys, which were the right 12 guys. And not included in that 12 is Chase Shores. And you don't get to this podium, you don't get to this moment without a lot of things going right over a long period of time. Chase Shores is the first real dude high school player that committed to us when I accepted the job. And I think this is appropriate to have these three players here. They are exactly what this team was, which is our motto for the year was tough and together. And I've never seen a team more mentally tough and consistent. I mean, we went through probably the hardest schedule in college baseball, and we had one hiccup, one. I mean, a little speed bump at Auburn. But other than that, they dominated the season, and they dominated the schedule. And it is talent, but it is character. I mean, I can't even picture my life or our program without a Chris Stanfield, a Chase Shores, and an Anthony Ianson. We were a little behind on Chris, and somehow he had the faith. We hit it off pretty quick, built a pretty strong bond, and we're able to get him. And then, I've mentioned this before with Anthony. There's one guy a summer in this crazy new world that we're living in that it's going to tip the scales for you to have an opportunity to be here and do what we just accomplished, and that was Anthony Ianson. And then Chase Shores, I'm so proud of him. It was a weekend starter on the 2023 National Championship team as a freshman. His last pitch of that season was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball that struck somebody out from Tennessee. with the box rocket, and then he had to go through the 18-month recovery rehab and persevered through all of that. And there's nobody I would have rather had finish the game tonight for this second national championship than Chase Shores. And I could talk forever and ever about a lot of different things. I would just say these three dudes sum up what the 2025 national championship team was. I love you guys. I will do anything for you for the rest of your life. And amazing. You did this. It would not have happened without you, so thank you.
Love you, Kyle.
Love you too.
All right, that's Jay Johnson talking after the game on Sunday. Again, his third trip to the College World Series as a head coach. Fourth trip to the College World Series as a head coach. He made 2 with Arizona and 2 with LSU. Now that has resulted in 2 national championships.
Yeah, his first year was that Coastal loss, right?
Yes.
So his first season here as the head coach, he took them to the final series.
Final game, game 3, which they did not need this time around, thanks to just a brilliant performance in game 1, a 1-0 game. I mean, how if ever, I mean, you have to go back. Has there ever been a 1-0 game in the College World Series finals? That was unbelievable. We're so used to seeing, especially this time of year, high-scoring baseball. But to get a 1-0 game in the finals of the College World Series,
especially
really
against Coastal, right? Because they had been averaging like 8 runs a game.
Right. Yeah. So championship number 1 versus championship number 2. Is there a different feeling, Jay Johnson?
Yeah, this was different. I mean, the first one was the first one, and I felt like in coming here to LSU, I felt like I could help that group of players in the second year that we were here do that. And we needed to add Skeens, White, those guys. But I felt like I could help Trey Morgan be a better player and, Jordan Thompson be a better player. And so that was kind of that. This was just, I'm so proud of how this team went about their business. Because, again, I mean, these guys are really smart, and they know the pro prospects that some of these guys are. I think I might have even called Kendall, and he rated us like 3 in the preseason or 4. I'm like, man, are you sure? That seems pretty high, just because you didn't know, because it was so many new pieces. But they performed like national champions every single day of this. We had a great fall. They did what they needed to do in December. We had a great lead up to the season, the 4 weeks leading up to the season, great in the non-conference. I mean, our league is so tough. Like, I mean, going 19-11 feels like amazing. You know what I mean? And then tournament time's our time. Tournament time's our time. And they were amazing in the NCAA tournament.
And, of course, Nate Yeske is there with him. That was the pitching coach that he had here at the University of Arizona when he left. Yeske briefly, I think, went to Texas A&M for a year or 2 before joining Jay in Baton Rouge, and they have really, really done an outstanding job. And they've gotten transfers. They've gotten guys in, 10 transfers, I believe they had, into their program. I mean, they're getting the best transfers out there.
Paul Skeens was a transfer.
Exactly.
Paul Skeens was with Air Force. He was an Air Force Academy cadet, and then he went to LSU after his sophomore year.
And the young man that pitched the game on Sunday apparently was at University of San Diego, not San Diego State, but the University of San Diego the year before. So again, they're finding those players that are on some of these lower level schools. And turning them into champions.
The best recruiting tool a coach has ever had, baseball, basketball, football, doesn't matter, is to point to a rookie in the professional ranks as being the rookie of the year. So when Paul Skeens goes, is he going to get the Cy Young in his first year? Like, that's how dominant he was at the major level right after he was drafted, right? When you can point to that guy, DK, how hard is it to get transfers to a school whose NIL fund is brimming, overflowing, and has the facilities and the money and the tradition? This was their 8th national championship. But when the coach can just point to a guy like Paul Skeens and say, hey, you want to come pitch for us? Because that could be you. I mean, that's a pitch, no pun intended.
That's why, again, if you're Arizona, you got to – I think it was important, and we'll get into this also a little bit later in the show, if not today, tomorrow, but I think there was a reason that we saw a quick resolution to Chip Hale's situation is because you need to have that show of stability when you've got, and we mentioned it yesterday, you've got such a young pitching staff to try to keep that together and not allow schools like LSU and some of these other top programs to have a leg up on trying to pick you apart and grab maybe your top pitching talent, because we all know it's still about pitching when you want to go deep into the tournament at Omaha. And the Wildcats, if they can keep all those kids together, and again, there's no guarantee that that's still going to happen, but if all those kids come back led by Smith Bailey, you've got a really good shot of being one of those teams that's going to be at the top end of the rung next season.
Smith Bailey finished the 2024 campaign with 3 consecutive 6-inning starts in the NCAA tournament, DK.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I mean, yes, people are looking for starting pitchers who can go 6 innings under pressure situations like that.
Right.
So there is no doubt, I'm sure his phone is ringing off the hook. And in order for Arizona to maintain their success, and how many pitchers did LSU really utilize in that dominant run to the title? Arizona softball has won national titles on the backs of 1 or 2 pitchers, right? So it's so important to keep those top starters on campus.
Don't answer the phone, Smith.
Yeah,
don't answer
right.
the phone.
And they're
Tucson loves you.
They're ringing a lot right now, especially considering the fact that he was named to the second-team freshman All-American team today.
Yeah, apparently LSU's looking at a top freshman out of Rutgers. Keep looking at that kid and keep looking at the East Coast and don't look at the West.
Yeah,
Coast.
Louisiana's weather is so much better than Jersey, right?
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. All right, 520-848-1290. Dragon Ball is here. He's got everything happening in sports around Southern Arizona and the world.
Well, the Diamondbacks got their official ruling on star slugger Corbin Carroll. The result, not what the team was hoping for. He will be headed to the injured list with a wrist fracture following a hit by pitch during the Blue Jay series. Again, manager Troy Lavello spoke on that announcement and where that leaves the team currently.
Corbin has a chip fracture in his left wrist, so that's still a little bit confusing to all of us. It's on the back of his hand. The impact of the ball hit the side of his hand. It just goes to show you how hard these guys are throwing today. And there's definitely that fracture in there. He's going to continue to get some opinions just to find out what that official diagnosis means and what the time frame will be. So I don't have any of that information right now.
Again, the team will try to go ahead and ride high on their series opener yesterday, making it 2 in a row against the White Sox after they shut out Chicago 10-0. Game 2 starts up at 4:40 Arizona time. A number of trades officially have zoomed by in the NBA with the drafts coming up tomorrow on the horizon. Now, the Pelicans made a deal with the Wizards. This sends guard C.J. McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a second-round pick that goes out to Washington in exchange for Jordan Poole, Saddiq Bey, and the 40th overall pick in tomorrow's draft. On top of that, there's another major deal from Boston. The Celtics managed to come away with guard Anthony Simons and 2 second-round picks from the Trailblazers, as Portland will go ahead and take point guard Drew Holiday. This is actually Drew Holiday's second time in Portland. He was sent there following the Bucks' acquisition of Damian Lillard in the 2023 blockbuster. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported will start up north in Oro Valley at Oracle and McGee and Oracle. Downtown, Grande and Congress. Crash and road work at 6th and Campbell and 6th Street. 73 the overnight low, 100 tomorrow, and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Tired of feeling alone in your job search? With just one connection, you can find endless job opportunities. That connection is Express Employment Professionals. Don't go it alone. Visit ExpressPros.com to find the location nearest you. That's ExpressPros.com.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Is it hot in here or is it just me?
Honey, I always think you're hot, but it's June, and we all know it's going to get hot in Tucson. It doesn't have to be hot in our house.
Honey, you should call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. They have the solutions for us.
For all your air conditioning needs, call today, 520-492-0748.
Or visit us at picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
When you hear crunch, whine, boing, Alaskan AC will arrive to fix it in less than 24 hours from the first crunch, whine, boing. No matter what kind of crunch, whine, or boing your AC is making, we fix it on your schedule.
That's huge. We guarantee to be there in 24 hours or less, or the repair is free.
We not only get there fast, we Polar Bear promise we'll get the job done right. We believe you deserve fresh air free of humidity in every room of your home, and you should never hear crunch, whine, boing. If you do, call Alaskan AC, and we guarantee we'll be there in under 24 hours. If we don't make it, your repair will be free.
No matter how big the crunch,
boing, or whine.
Wait, I thought I was whine.
You're crunch. I'm crunch. You're boing. I don't think I'm boing. Gary's more of a boing than me.
William is crunch.
Schedule now and tell us who boing is. Only at AlaskanAC.com.
Quick, she's over here. I don't know. I just found her like this.
Yeah, she's banged up, but she'll be fine.
Oh, thank God. What can I do?
Just need the keys. And, sir?
Yeah?
Your car's gonna be fine.
Thank you.
Mobile detailing from Recon Auto Detailing. Tired of wear and tear on your vehicle or just tired of cleaning it yourself? We'll come to you. Book with us online and see why we have over 1,100 5-star reviews. Recon Auto Detailing. ReconDetail.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rocking K, with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Sponsored by Rumble. Want to join 59 million others who are tuning in to a fresh alternative to mainstream news and information that isn't delivered with an agenda? Enjoy your daily dose of happenings from a platform that fights to protect your free speech. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play store today and choose from thousands of creators covering everything from financial markets to daily events and more. Choose an open internet and free expression. Choose rumble.com today.
Goodfellas AC.
Hi, can I get a second opinion from you guys on something?
Of course. It's what we're here for.
So, my wife's brother claimed he'd done some AC repair before.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and now there's kind of a rope and pulley situation that opens the freezer door and a fan inside turns on to cool off the house.
Huh, very creative.
Really?
No, not at all. Next time, call us first, yeah?
Yeah.
Call Goodfellas AC for free estimates and second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos out fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today. O'Reilly
Auto Parts. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station, your home for the National Football League, starting with the Hall of Fame game through the regular season into the playoffs and ending in the Super Bowl. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 2 of our show today on a Tuesday. Full week of full shows here. If you want to join us, 520-848-1290 is the number. We've been talking about the umpiring situation at the College World Series. If you are an umpire, I want to hear your thoughts on what went down with Angel Campos and Kevin Schnall and how you would have handled that if you were the plate umpire in the national championship game of college baseball. How would you have run Kevin Schnall in the first inning?
Dragon Ball?
Like Angel Campos.
Have you ever umpired, and would you have run Kevin Schnall?
I have never umpired. I would not wish that upon myself because at the level that I would probably be able to reach, I'd have to deal with parents. Parents is the one part about the umpiring deal that I've never really been too fond of. And that's where you got to start. So I know I wouldn't. I would get it very early start and very early exit.
One of the most popular videos going around the last few years is umpires running parents from the stands after they're a little too animated because their kid struck out or whatever.
Yeah. Now, in regards to the whether or not I would run Kevin Schnall, I think that in the situation of him arguing the 3 pitches, that's where I would put my warning out. I would make sure the warning came out at that point. Like, okay, now you've been warned. I warned your first base coach. I'm going to warn you. Let me call the game, and then we'll continue from this.
There you go.
If he kept coming towards me and kept throwing up those 3 fingers, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance to go ahead and retract, and then you can go back. And if he kept coming, that's when I toss.
I wonder if Angels, said something along the lines of, "Well, your catcher's stealing strikes." Right, like, and I know about that trick.
The framing.
Right,
we talked about it.
Yeah, we did last week. We talked about it.
Well, you can only steal strikes if the umpire gives you that strike. You can move your glove all you want, but if it's the umpire that ultimately makes that decision, so the kid can do that, but the umpire is, like I said, the umpire has to be smart enough not to allow him to get away with that.
I want people out there listening, if you haven't seen it, just look up Caden Bodine and watch him, and he clearly, DK, has spent endless hours perfecting the craft because his glove moves. It's almost imperceivable to the eye how fast he moves his glove into that box. So, yeah, it's tough.
Now, that being said, if your catcher is stealing strikes, but your umpire still has to give them to you, does that now count as a donation, or what is that at that point? I'm not sure what the qualification is anymore.
I don't know either. You just got to be smart. They say you got to be smarter than an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old. What's the show they used to have?
Smarter than a 5th grader.
A 5th grader, yeah. You got to be smarter than a college catcher and not allow him to think that he can get that call from you. All right, 520-848-1290. NBA draft is coming up tomorrow. The CBS Sports has put out their final mock draft. And this is how their draft looks. Number 1, Cooper Flagg to the Mavericks. Dylan Harper out of Rutgers, Ron Harper's son. Number 2 to San Antonio. Philadelphia sits at 3. They've got them taking Trey Johnson, the shooting guard out of Texas. VJ Edgecombe, we saw from Baylor, projected at 4 to go to the Charlotte Hornets. Utah will take Con Knipple, they say, small forward out of Duke. We saw
Good
Con
fit.
This season. Yeah, they need a lot of good fits.
He looks like a jazz player.
They need a lot of good fits out there. Ace Bailey from Rutgers. Rutgers had 2 top 6 picks, and they couldn't win more games than they did last year.
Well, they put all their NIL funds into those, too, and didn't really have much past that. And they've not had much sustained success, so, yeah.
So that'll be another young player to the Washington Wizards at number 6. 7 is Jeremiah Fears. He lit up the Wildcats down in the Bahamas.
Really good.
At guard. That's 7 to New Orleans. 8 is Brooklyn. Our guy, Kaman Malawak out of Duke. We saw him.
Really raw, but, I mean, his measurables and his mobility and the way he attacks blocking shots off ball, I mean, he's going to, in today's NBA, he's got a bright future if he can just learn to knock down an 18 to 20-foot jump shot.
Round 1, number 9 pick goes to Toronto. Kasparis Jakucinic. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that young man's
Dragon
right.
Ball's favorite player.
He's from Illinois. You like him, seriously, or is that just a joke? Oh, you okay?
I just like the name, to be completely honest with you.
Okay, here we go. 10. CBS Sports projects the Suns to take small forward Colin Murray Boyles out of South Carolina and not Carter Bryant. They've got Carter Bryant going at 11 to the Portland Trailblazers. So if that's the case, you might have a Carter Bryant, DeAndre Ayton pairing there. At least that's so that's the first 11 picks.
That's if DeAndre Ayton stays in Portland.
Right. Yeah. And on that note, like this may be the most volatile week and week after NBA draft we've ever seen in my lifetime. Because you think about like Dame's hurt. What are they going to do with Giannis? Like all the storylines. Another trade broke while Dragon Ball was reading out his updates at the end of last hour. Atlanta, Boston, and Brooklyn. Kristaps Porzingis is moving to the Hawks. Terrence Mann and Atlanta's 22 are going to the Nets. And George Niang in a second rounder to the Celtics. So that just happened in the last 10 minutes as well. There are a lot of pieces. KD obviously just moved. A lot of smoke screens. I would be surprised if those top 10 stay in the place that they are currently by the time tomorrow ends, or at least we hear a lot of those drafted to be traded, right? Guys who are picked by the team in that slot, but knowing that they're going to be traded right after they're picked.
Yeah, not to mention there's also the situation of how many superstars are going to go ahead and have to wait till the final hour to get their contracts done. Because Jokic is a guy that everyone's kind of looking at. Is he going to accept
Did you hear what their
Supermax?
GM said today? Unprompted, he said, who knows what happens? We get an injury, we might have to trade Joker. Like, this is the best player by far, the best player in the NBA. And unprompted, their GM said, there's so many lies, so much smokescreen. When we get to Jay Billis, he'll talk about this, but there's so many different threads being thrown out there, and most of it is just misdirection because these guys know, these GMs know exactly who they want. They know exactly what they're trying to build in their franchises, but they don't want us to know about it. And so a lot of times what you hear GMs say this week, DK, leading up to the draft, is the most erroneous nonsense ever. Don't take any of them at their
Lying
word
season,
right
as
now.
they call it. Lying season is exactly what they call it. All right, you mentioned Jay Billis. Jay Billis did a press conference last week, and he talked a lot about the NBA draft. Let's hear what he thinks of Carter Bryant's game and the measurables for Arizona's latest first-round selection.
I like Carter Bryant a lot. I think you're going to hear his name called pretty early in this draft. Certainly in and around the lottery. We just talked about positional size with regard to Kobe Sanders just a minute ago, and that's what Carter Bryant has. As a 19-year-old, he's got a 6'11" wingspan at about 6'7". And he did really, really well at the combine with his vertical leap, the what do they call it, the sprint, and then his standing vertical was actually really good. But he's what people would say, hey, he's the prototypical 3-and-D guy, because he does make threes, and when he's got time in a catch and shoot situation, he makes them at a good percentage. He wasn't a high volume scorer last year at Arizona. That wasn't his role. But really good defender that can guard multiple positions. He can get steals, deflections. He can block shots. But when he had an open shot, he hit those shots at right around 38%, give or take. So I think what you're looking at with him is his long-term potential is really good, and all the measurables that people like to talk about. He's got that stuff down, and players that fit that mold that he fits have done very well in the league.
All right, that was Jay Billis talking a little bit about Carter Bryant. His measurables, believes he'll go in the lottery. Like we said, right now, CBS has him projected as a top 11 pick. Most people seem to think he'll come in around 10 or 11 in this draft. So could be the Suns, could be Portland. You've got, again, Toronto sitting there at 9. Do you think there's any teams lower, guys, that could potentially maybe might want to trade into a position to take a player like Carter Bryant? You got the champ sitting there at 15. Does he fit maybe there? Are there any of these teams? Memphis at 16. You got San Antonio at 14, Atlanta at 13, Bulls at 12. Or any of those teams that might want to maybe see if they could go up a few spots to potentially take a guy like Carter Bryant?
I mean, it's really tough because the idea being that you want to have one or two dominant players, and then you want to have a lot of 3-and-D guys on your roster is the formula these days. The The Thunder are not in the market. The Thunder have 6 of those guys right now, so
Yep.
they're fine. But I think Carter, from Carter's perspective, it would be best for him to land on a team with established people who can clearly do all of the heavy lifting, and all he needs to really do is focus on keeping his feet moving and staying in front of perimeter players defensively, block a few shots off ball, and knock down open shots. Like 83% of his shots this year came on catch and shoot, of his outside shots, came on catch and shoot threes. What does the NBA need right now, Dragon Ball? There's a lot of great offensive players. Think about Shea getting busy in the lane. When you get a double team like that, who's he looking for? Somebody standing out in the corner, ready to catch and shoot the ball. Carter Bryant can do that right now. As to his long-term progress and becoming one of those 1 or 2 dominant players, it's gonna take some time. But a landing spot right now, a lot of those teams you just mentioned. The question, DK, are the Chicago Bulls, Dragon Ball, ready to be a contender with one more 3-and-D guy? No.
I don't see the Bulls. Definitely, the Bulls don't need to make that move. But I will say, if there's one team in that teen spot, in that 16 to 19 spot, that could make the move to try and get a guy like Carter Bryant, I'd have to think it would be the Minnesota Timberwolves. The main reason why they couldn't get Kevin Durant in a trade, they apparently wanted to get some kind of a deal done with Phoenix, and it didn't happen. Then you look at kind of what ended up happening with the Timberwolves when they got to the conference finals. They struggled mightily guarding the perimeter. They could not find a way to go ahead and keep the Thunder from having the jump shots they wanted from about 18 out. If you get a guy like Carter Bryant, that certifies that defensive wing spot that you need and keeps Anthony Edwards out of foul trouble. That was the killing blow for them in the Western Conference Finals. You get that extra D&3 guy like Carter Bryant to fill out that spot, even if it's not necessarily as a starter, but in key minutes off the bench like a Ben Mathurin, that'd be huge.
My personal landing spot, DK, which would be ideal, and the team you didn't mention that could trade up because they're in the 14 spot right now, so they could trade up a couple of picks to get him at 12, 13, 12, 11, 10, is the freaking Spurs. Are you kidding me? Like, the Spurs roster right now, if Wemby gets healthy, Stephen Castle was the Rookie of the Year last year. They're going to get the number 2 pick this year. If that's Dylan Harper, I mean, that guy is a monster. So land on a team that has a young core group you can grow together, much like we watched the Thunder do in the last 3 or 4 years. To join a core young group, DK, that can stick together and play as a unit over the course of the next 2 or 3 years as they grow, ideally, the Spurs would be the perfect landing spot. They need a guy in that 3-and-D role, and they've got so much young talent. I would love to see him in San Antonio.
All right, the 4th member of our team joins us now. Cricket, glad to see you can make it today.
I'm sorry. I like am mortified. Dragon Ball, thanks for covering for me.
No problem.
I'm mortified.
Did you get a good nap? Or?
I did. Well, last night our neighbors were popping off fireworks, and my dog was
already.
Yeah, exactly. Like, my dog was beside himself with worry. I don't think that I slept at all last night, and that there is never an excuse for being late for work. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Dragon Ball. Like, totally covered me. Thank you for being that dude.
No problem.
Thank you for being that good coworker. I'm sorry. I'm mortified.
That's okay.
I'm really embarrassed.
How's the dog doing, though?
He's better today, but I expect more
So
fireworks tonight.
why are we? Is that the thing in your neighborhood? Let's shoot off the fireworks.
Generally, it's like quinceañeras and stuff like that.
2 weeks before, or
right? Well, and I saw that that fireworks stand go up at Campbell and
there you go.
Where is it? Campbell and Fort Lowell, and I was like, oh no,
here we go.
Oh no, here we go with the fireworks. And so yeah, I guess my neighbors like to celebrate early. I guess.
How do your dogs react to that, Jada?
Yeah.
One of our dogs is not like sky monsters, is what we call the fireworks.
Yeah,
or
they're
sky
big
monsters.
booms.
Sky monsters.
Scary.
Yeah, he cowers and he looks at you and he puts his head down a bit, but not so much more recently. But we don't have a neighbor. We live right next to a school, so the big area right next to our house is not residential. So we don't have a ton of people setting fireworks off. But the last place we lived before we moved 5 years ago, fireworks are right next to us, and he would be nervous for a couple of hours. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
It's just heartbreaking. And then I wonder about humans that also maybe have some panic with hearing that, like, what do they call it? PTSD or something?
Right.
Humans that like also have a problem with it. Like, my dog's upset. Imagine how some humans might feel too.
What's that? Describe that panic when you wake up and you're like, oh my God.
Oh gosh. I was like freaking mortified. I'm mortified. I want to say I'm never late, but it's happened maybe just a couple times.
Okay.
But thank you, Dragon
A couple
Ball, for-
times in 20 years.
I was going
think
to say,
that's okay.
that's what I told her outside. She apologized to me
I was
70
like-
times, and I was like,
I'm
bro,
so
you've been
sorry.
here, like, you worked like 30,000 hours in this building, being late. I've never seen you late ever in the
Right.
10 years I've worked here. It's okay. Dragon Ball.
right.
And I told her I could have covered it if Dragon Ball couldn't have done it. So, yeah. It's all good, Cricket.
But we're still gonna poke you a little bit.
You're gonna
poke you a little bit. There.
You're gonna you're gonna poke the dragon. Dragon Ball.
Glad it was
who saved my life.
Glad you weren't like behind an accident or anything out there, or the road didn't like pop up and you shoot you up in the air.
My car.
Not the Missouri roads.
Yes,
the Missouri
I saw that. And I was trying not to drive like a crazy person on my way to work. Like the panic sets in.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, drive like a normal person.
That's the real story. Cricket was on her way here. Firework went off over her
That's
head.
okay.
She got scared.
It's weird because I had a weird dream. I had a dream last night that I missed I didn't miss the pregame show. It was a really weird dream. It's so involved. I might have to talk about it later. But I was like, I just missed the pregame show for football, and I was like, and it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it gets to a point where it's a dream. And you're like, this is a dream. I'm trying to wake yourself up, but you kind of fall back into it, and then there's more chaos. It was kind of like that. It was kind of like that this morning. I'll get more into that later.
We need one segment on that.
Right?
Yes.
Exactly. Cricket getting you here and home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. In Oro Valley, Oracle and McGee and Oracle reported crash there. Midtown roadwork on Grant Road, east of Country Club to east of Columbus. It's kind of a mess in that construction zone. You could definitely save time using maybe Pima or Glen instead. 73 the overnight low, 100 tomorrow, and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at Lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
When you hear
Crunch,
whine, boing,
Alaskan AC will arrive to fix it in less than 24 hours from the first crunch,
whine, boing. No matter what kind of
crunch,
whine, or boing your AC is making.
We fix it on your schedule.
That's huge. We guarantee to be there in 24 hours or less, or the repair is free. We not only get there fast, we Polar Bear promise we'll get the job done right.
We believe you deserve fresh air free of humidity in every room of your home, and you should never hear crunch,
whine, boing.
If you do, call Alaskan AC, and we guarantee we'll be there in under 24 hours.
If we don't make it, your repair will be free. No matter how big the crunch,
boing,
or whine. Wait, I thought I was whine. You're crunch.
I'm crunch. You're boing.
I don't think I'm boing. Gary's more of a boing than me. William is crunch. Schedule now and tell us who boing is. Only at AlaskanAC.com.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
When Ram won its first Motor Trend Truck of the Year, it was celebrated. But after 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. And now, so does the deal with Employee Pricing Plus. Stop by your local dealer today and take home a Ram truck. Ram, 7-time Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Nothing stops Ram.
Offer valid on select 2024 and 2025 Rams for non-FCA employees and retirees. $200 admin fee applies. Not all buyers will qualify. Restrictions apply. Does not apply to leases. See dealer for details. And 6/30/25. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard. The driveway needs filling in. Or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
The Starbucks Summer Berry Refresher is officially back. Bold notes of raspberry, blueberry, and blackberry shaken with ice and poured over raspberry-flavored pearls. Try it with lemonade or coconut milk. Available for a limited time. Your Summer Berry Refresher is ready at Starbucks.
I'm Taylor Bishotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Quarterback Russell Wilson says he signed with the Giants this offseason to team up with wide receiver Malik Neighbors. Wilson saying, quote, "I came here because of him. I really wanted to play with someone special like him." Neighbors led the Giants in receiving last season as a rookie, racking up over 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns. Elsewhere, Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson says he'll be ready for training camp next month. Richardson missed minicamp with a shoulder injury, but is expected to compete with veteran Daniel Jones for the starting job. Colts veterans report July 22nd. And quarterback Jaden Daniels is fired up to play with newly acquired wideout Deebo Samuel. Daniels recently said, "I'm excited to throw him a little screen, and hopefully on the stat sheet it says a touchdown for 80 yards, and I didn't have to do any of the work." Samuel has consistently ranked among the league's best in yards after catch per reception. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More, the place to go for sipping rosés with seltzers on ice, making margaritas with your favorite tequilas. It's warm out, let's go. Our prices are low on spirits, beer, and wine. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly. B21.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
When you hear
crunch, whine,
boing,
Alaskan AC will arrive to fix it in less than 24 hours from the first crunch, whine,
boing, no matter what kind of
crunch, whine,
or boing your AC is making.
We fix it on your schedule.
That's huge. We guarantee to be there in 24 hours or less, or the repair is free.
We not only get there fast, we Polar Bear promise we'll get the job done right.
We believe you deserve fresh air free of humidity in every room of your home, and you should never hear crunch, whine.
Wine.
Boing. If you do, call Alaskan AC and we guarantee we'll be there in under 24 hours.
If we don't make it, your repair will be free. No matter how big the crunch.
Boing.
Or whine. Wait, I thought I was whine. You're crunch.
I'm Crunch. You're boing.
I don't think I'm boing. Gary's more of a boing than me. William is crunch. Schedule now and tell us who boing is. Only at AlaskanAC.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Caleb Love as well. He catches it center circle now. Off a screen from Basar into the lane. Lob it for Carter Bryant, who slams it down with two hands.
Henry Basar, not just a offensive shooter, showcases his passing there.
Carter Bryant expected to be the latest Arizona Wildcat to be drafted in the first round of the NBA draft. It'll be tomorrow in New York City. And that is where Carter is. He will be in the green room on draft night. As we told you earlier, expected to be maybe drafted around 10 or 11. Now, they had media day today for, I think there's like about 20 kids that are there for the in the green room. And Carter's position, I don't know if you saw this, Carter's position happened to be right next to Cooper Flagg's position. And there was probably 40, 50 plus people gathered around Cooper Flagg, who's expected again to be the first round pick. And then they panned over to Carter Bryant, and there's like 3 people talking to Carter Bryant, just to kind of show the disparity between the people interested in hearing from the guy that's going to be the projected number 1 and the guy who's probably going to go somewhere around 10 or 11.
Not to repeat myself over and over and over again, DK, but national media focuses on superstars. That's what the NBA media does. So clearly Carter Bryant is a great prospect for the NBA. Cooper Flagg is going to be the youngest first-round draft pick since LeBron. He should be a senior in high school, right? He skipped his senior year and reclassified. And so clearly, obviously, Cooper Flagg is going to draw the attention. That's how the media works these days.
All right, let's hear from Carter Bryant. He was interviewed by the NBA today at this event in New York City. Let's hear a little bit about what Carter had to say.
People don't know this, but your NBA draft journey started about 2 or 3 years ago when you were at Nike Hoop Summit on the scrimmage team, and you went off, and you did it in front of NBA GMs and scouts. Did you know at that moment what a big moment that was for you?
I don't think I really knew the value of that moment. It was just me having fun playing basketball. I think like that's kind of the difference between me and everybody else. Everybody treats it so seriously. Obviously, you have an intent behind what you're doing with everything, but keeping that kind of kid-like mentality, curiosity, and having fun with playing the game, I think that's what kind of sets me ahead.
Sure, you played with great impact and efficiency at Arizona this year, but it was limited production on like the raw stats. Is there a layer that like you think you could take it up to, kick it up a notch in the league where maybe spacing and things kind of fit you better as you develop more?
Absolutely. I think for me it's just the growth aspect of everything. I think that we're going to look up in 5, 10 years, maybe even 20 at the end of this draft class career, and you're going to be like, man, how does nobody see this coming? I think I'm going to end up being one of the best players in the world.
You talk about people that just do, scouting, and they look at someone like you only average 6.5 points per game, but how were you able to still just get through that adversity at Arizona and just trust in yourself and know that once this process started, you were going to be who you are?
I think just my foundation, understanding what I come from, understanding how to work, understanding just the progression of just being a human. You learn every day, whether that's on or off the court, so why would I treat it differently at that level? It's the same thing no matter how you're feeling day to day, whatever the case may be. So I think for me, just understanding that the growth is going to be monumental over time. Like, you're not looking to become the best player in college basketball over one day or over 2 days. Like, it's something that happens over time, and I think a lot of people saw my progress as the season went on.
I got to ask you about your fit. You came in looking super clean today. I don't know, I'm not going to say maybe the best dress of the day so far, but you look like you're getting drafted. Are you a big fashion guy?
I recently got into it. Shout out my guys. They got me right, but I think for me, it's just being presentable, just having a look that everybody's going to remember your name and be noticeable. And obviously, you also have to be a good person on top of that. But fashion is something I just started getting into.
Sure.
Carter, who do you watch a lot at the NBA level? Who are the NBA guys that you watch and try to emulate and add to your game?
I would say it really depends on what you're talking about. Like, it depends.
Shot creation.
Shot creation, I'm going Devin Booker.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about defense?
Defense, a ton of people. It really just depends on whatever it is. Like if I'm looking at switching, getting through ball screens, guarding the post, like there's different guys. I love watching Tumani Kamara. I think he's a guy that's great at everything on the floor defensively. Drew Holiday, Dyson Daniels, Matisse Thybulle. There's like a bunch of guys you can kind of look at to take a bunch of things. Herb Jones is another one too.
There's some deep pulls, and I like that, especially the list of defense ones. Another one is OG Anunoby, who I think you play a lot like, especially being at the peak of it, like a star 3-and-D perimeter forward. Right. We're going to watch some tape of him because I want to see where you see the similarities in some of these clips in your game and his game. So we're going to roll the tape of OG. I want you to kind of let us know what you see because we know he can do it all. He did it all in the playoffs too. The shot creation, that's a moonshot.
Yeah.
Just being able to have that elevation with your shot and the high release in your game as well, Carter.
Right. I think that's just a testament to his work, understanding what he's capable of and not going too far from what he hasn't worked on. I think that's like the problem. A lot of great players, they just understand what they're good at and they just keep mastering that. And I think you see from him, like, he just does the simple things really well. And a lot of people struggle with doing simple over and over again. Like when you do simple a lot, you get tired of it, and not being able not to get tired of it is just something that's actually a skill that people don't get enough credit for.
Especially defensively, and like you said, like doing the little things is most fans don't kind of appreciate enough maybe, and guys like OG, and like you started only 5 games this year, but you're here in the green room, likely going to be a first-round draft pick tomorrow night. Like, what do you have to tell the kids out there that don't get all the playing time that they want on their local teams right now?
Man, it's a process. I mean, I wasn't good at basketball growing up. Like, if you would have saw me when I was in 4th, 5th, 6th grade, like, I was good at football, I was good at volleyball, I was good at baseball, and then you kind of looked at me at basketball, and you're like, all right, this probably isn't your sport, kid. But it's like one of those things, why I love basketball. Basketball is something that you work at every day, and you're trying to come so close to perfection, you can end up never coming anywhere near it, but you can still be amongst some of the greatest players that ever played the game, so.
All right, with under 20 seconds left, we're going to give you a buzzer beater question. Who is one NBA player that you are most looking forward to going up against next year, and why?
I would say Devin Booker. I think that's someone I could be very similar to at the next level in terms of shot creation, the simplicity of his game. So I would say him, but would love to go against Kyrie and Jason Tatum, but those guys, speedy recovery to them. But I'm looking forward to playing against those two, too.
All right, that was Carter Bryant. Today, NBA Draft Media Day for all the young men that are going to be in the green room on Wednesday night to hear their name called and their dream realized to be able to be picked into the greatest basketball league in the world. And he'll be the latest first-round pick for your Arizona Wildcats. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Where do you think this young man fits in the National Basketball Association? Do you think there's a team that's maybe in that teen range, anywhere between maybe 12 and 16, that might want to trade up and snag Carter Bryant? Would you like the Suns to take Carter Bryant at number 10? Want to hear from you on that today. 520-848-1290. Get in on the program via text, via phone call. You can interact with the program on any of our social media platforms. We are on Twitter at Wildcats1290. We are streaming this show video-wise on a number of different platforms. We are on Facebook Live. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitch. All Wildcats Radio 1290. Check out the show there, as well as download our app. It slaps, and you can stream us from your home or from your car or in the office, wherever you so choose. All right, coming up, we will have your BetMGM Network play of the day for a game that's getting ready to start here in about 10 minutes. DK on the sports tip. Cricket is here and getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Crash in Oro Valley at Oracle and McGee and Oracle. And also road work continuing along 5th, 6th Street between Alvernon and Campbell. it is impacting traffic. You could save time using Broadway or Speedway instead. 73 the overnight low, 100 tomorrow, and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
When you hear
crunch,
whine, boing,
Alaskan AC will arrive to fix it in less than 24 hours from the first crunch,
whine, boing. No matter what kind of
crunch,
whine, or boing your AC is making.
We fix it on your schedule.
That's huge. We guarantee to be there in 24 hours or less, or the repair is free. We not only get there fast, we Polar Bear promise we'll get the job done right.
We believe you deserve fresh air free of humidity in every room of your home, and you should never hear crunch,
whine, boing.
If you do, call Alaskan AC, and we guarantee we'll be there in under 24 hours.
If we don't make it, your repair will be free. No matter how big the crunch,
boing,
or whine. Wait, I thought I was whine. You're crunch.
I'm crunch. You're boing.
I don't think I'm boing. Gary's more of a boing than me. William is crunch. Schedule now and tell us who boing is. Only at AlaskanAC.com.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/2025. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Are you an annoying coworker? Sending emails when everyone else is sleeping? Do they ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have knowledgeable sleep experts that can help you find a better bed, like a Tempur-Pedic. It has technology to keep you cool at night, meaning anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
I'm Bill Ryder with the Sports Minute. Kevin Durant's been pretty candid. He is a big part of the reason he's become a Houston Rocket. But now there's nowhere left to hide. Since leaving the Golden State Warriors, Kevin Durant hasn't sniffed an NBA Finals, let alone a championship ring. And that means this move where he's gone to the number 2 seed, and a young team that's on the verge will be on him. Win, and Durant is a star. Lose, and there's a pattern at the end of his career. I'm Bill Redder.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
Hey, listen to this. All it needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
BetMGM Network top play. We got a winner last night from the Seattle Mariners.
It's the stretch and the 2-1 pitch. Swinging a well-hit ball deep to left field. And this one is gone. Goodbye, baseball. And Cal Raleigh has become the first Mariner in history to hit 10 or more home runs in 3 consecutive months. A 2-run home run here in the top of the 9th inning. The Mariners now lead Minnesota 11-2. Cal hit 12 home runs in April, 10 in May, 10 more. There's number 10 here in the month of June. And Cal Raleigh with more history tonight here in Minnesota. And the incredible season just continues.
Is there an asterisk necessary next to that? Because had Junior been healthy, come on.
Well,
how many
He was
consecutive...
healthy in, no, wait. He was healthy in Seattle as a youngster. Now, he might not have
for
been
like
healthy
2
when
or
he went
3
back.
years, right?
His injuries, I don't think his injuries really started happening until he got to Cincinnati.
Okay, well, the purest swing I've ever seen in Major League Baseball history was Ken Griffey Jr., and I think if he had played healthy his whole career, he would have had multiple months in a row with 10 or more home runs.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. That's hard to believe that he never did that. Even in his young years in Seattle, you would have thought that he'd have done that, but did not do it. Cal Raleigh, 32 home runs now. I got to see what the line, because you heard the people in the background there chanting MVP. I got to see what his where he is now. He is second behind Aaron Judge for American League MVP at the moment. He's the first one in plus money, as Aaron Judge, who's a prohibitive favorite to win the American League MVP right now, is at minus 1250, minus 1,250. Cal Raleigh comes in right now at plus 400. So he's the second favorite right now behind Aaron Judge.
It's interesting because Cal Raleigh is leading the league, all Major League Baseball, in runs batted in currently. However, Aaron Judge is batting 370.
Yeah.
DK. 370 in addition to leading the Major Leagues in home runs. So, yeah. Being a couple behind Cal Raleigh now.
Well, we'll take that. We had the Mariners on the money line last night over the Twins, despite Dragon Ball's insistence that the Seattle Mariners won't keep this hot run going. They win again and over the Twins last night. So we did pick up some money on that. It wasn't a high; it was a low, minus 129. So we did win $10.06. So we'll take that because we're back. We're still about $113 in the negative right now. So we'll take all the wins we can get. We did some losing. I mentioned over the weekend on the NBA side because of course Dragon Ball. See, this is what happens when we listen to Dragon Ball. He told us to take the Pacers to win the NBA title.
I told you to take the Pacers. I didn't tell us because J-Dub had been saying to take the Thunder at the start of the finals. So you listened to me one day.
J-Dub
JW was saying it for the entire month, saying take the Thunder.
Saying it for the entire season. So we took the Pacers to win the title. So we lost on that. We also had the Pacers, obviously, winning that title in 7. We'd have been solvent if they had won if they had won the game on the other night, because that would have been, we'd have won over $210.
We never talked about how much money the Vegas books saved by the Pacers losing that game 7. They would have been there was plus what, 15,000 at some point during the season.
You'd have been looking at some sports books, maybe trying to file for bankruptcy.
Closing the doors, moving sale.
Like, listen, we need to go ahead. We need to get a money printer. No, we can't get a loan. We need a money printer in the back because that's the only way we're going to be able to make this money out.
We did win on the Pacers Thunder Game 7 being under 215 points. Game 7s are notoriously known to be lower scoring games, and that was the case as the 103-91 score came in at 209. At 195. 94. I can't do math right now. 194 it came in. So we won on the under for Game 7. And took home $11.87 there. We did, however, also lose on Rob Brown's suggestion to take Coastal Carolina over LSU, which I thought was a bad suggestion. But
hard to argue with the 26-game winning streak.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was LSU. It was LSU.
I mean, wasn't that an 18 – who pitched the 18 strikeout no-hitter?
Oh, that was the guy from Arkansas.
Right.
Yeah, Gage, something.
And that was the team that was playing LSU to get there as well.
Right. So we lost on those as well. So we got a win last night, which is good. We've got here's what we've got coming up for you tonight. In fact, this game just started, so maybe get this bet in quickly.
I'm Chelsea Messenger, helping you beat the books with BetMGM Network. Today, we're taking the under 8 runs between the Phillies and the Astros. Ranger Suarez has been fantastic for the Phils this year. He's 6-1 with a 2.20 ERA. Framber Valdez has also been solid for the Astros and is backed up by the second best bullpen in baseball. Astros are 24-16 to the under at home. Phillies 23-14-1 to the under on the road. Underrated, bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app. Please gamble responsibly.
All right, that game is actually now under 7.5 runs over at the Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook at -118. So Phillies Astros under 7.5 runs, and you actually still have plenty of time because that game does not first pitch until 5:10.
I want to know what Dragon Ball's thoughts are on this particular bet.
Phillies and Astros under 7.5 runs.
Man, Philly. You're never going to be sure what you're going to get out of the Phillies because they've actually been doing pretty good up to this point.
And you got Framber. Any game Framber Valdez is pitching for the Astros, I'm going to take the under on that because he's one of the best in the game.
I'd probably take the under on this one myself, but I mean they've been going back and forth a little bit here. The Phillies are on a hot streak.
Like you say, you got two really good starters. You got Ranger Suarez, who's got a 2.20 ERA, and Framber is at 3.09, which is probably a little bit higher than you would think. For Framber Valdez, but I think this is a good play tonight to take under 7.5. Of course, they'll come out.
He does have 99 strikeouts and 96 innings, though.
There you go. Mm-hmm. So that game first pitch 5:10. Your $12.90 bet there will win you $10.96 over at the Desert Diamond Casino. We've also got a game that just started. I mentioned Cardinals Cubs. You can take the money line. The Cardinals on the money line over the Cubs at -103. Right now, and that would get you $12.64 back on your $12.90
You know what we need is an
bet.
Insider who can give us more details about what the Cubs look like in person.
Yeah, that'll be me next week.
Oh, that'll be you next week.
I will give you plenty when I come back from my trip to Wrigley Field next week. Going to see the Guardians play at Wrigley Field. This was a trip that we'd actually planned a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, we had to cancel it due to some family things that were going on at the time. So we are planning to make that trip now. The only negative part of this is that I don't get my Cubs day game because it's a weekday series. So both the games we're going to are at night.
The negative part about this, DK, is that for someone who doesn't eat cheese, you're going to the land of cheese. They're famous for their cheese, and you don't eat cheese. That's the most unfortunate part about this.
I think we'll have to go. Who did we interviewed somebody from the baseball team. They've got a ton of kids from Chicago. I forget who it was who said go to Portillo's. We have Portillo's here now over at Elcon Mall, and he said now I went to I hope they're not one of our sponsors. I'm about to talk bad about them. I went to Portillo. I've been to Portillo's one time, and that was one of the worst hot dogs I think I've ever had.
What kind of hot dog did you get?
I don't know, but it was like coming out of coming out of the skin. Like I don't know if I just got a bad one that day, but it was like I was like, what kind of hot dog is this? It was like coming out of the skin. I was like, I don't want that.
There used to be a place on Speedway back in the 80s, 90s called Chicago Dogs. That's where we always went. Yeah, it was so good. It was the traditional, like, steamed, where the outside is, you kind of have that crisp bite into it type of thing.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Portillo's was, I think, one of the suggestions that I forget who it was. It was, I think it was one of the position players that was from Chicago that suggested that. We'll have to go back and comb through that interview to get some. I think he gave me a couple of spots in Chicago to test out. All right, we've got a bunch of. I want to get a few of these out here because we didn't really had a chance to flesh out some of these future picks that the folks over at BetMGM have given us, and we got the full crew here today. So let's talk about two that involve the Cardinals. The BetMGM folks say, they give how many wins, and they project for each NFL team. BetMGM Network right now is projecting the Cardinals over the 8.5 wins this season. Now, I don't think you were here last week, Dragon Ball, but I said I think you got to go with that. I think the Cardinals are going to be good enough to win. I don't know how many over 8.5, but I think they will at least win 9 games this season. So I think that's a good bet to take the Cardinals over 8.5 wins.
You're going against the NFC and AFC South. Of course you take that over. Those are two of the potentially worst divisions in football. And granted, you've got, again, a little bit of a murderer's row, quote unquote, in the NFC West. But at the same time, we don't know what kind of season we're going to see from the 49ers because they get rid of every single pass catcher they have on their roster. And Seattle's going to be going back to Sam Darnold, which we're going to see, hey, was Minnesota a blip on the radar, or is this really what you were supposed to be coming out of college? So I absolutely think you got to take the over on this. Do I think this team is a division winner? Probably not. They'll probably a high-end wild card team. But at the same time, again, you're going to open up the season, Saints and Panthers. Yes, that's an early good two-step to get to that over.
So this is Gannon's, third year?
Third year.
Yes.
So, and this was the other one. The other one was Cardinals to make the playoffs right now is plus money, plus 150, Cardinals to make the playoffs. So you think they'll make the playoffs?
I think they could make the playoffs in this season. Especially
I think they're a wild card team, too.
With the roster, with the setup that they have going into this season, it's going to be interesting with the schedule that they have. It's going to be completely dependent on whether or not they get healthy on offense, obviously. Yeah. They need to keep Kyler healthy. And the other part is they've got to start utilizing the pass rush that Jonathan Gannon was known for in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's the big
key. If they can get a pass rush going on for their defense, they're going to go and be a team to kind of watch out for. Like I said, I don't know if they're going to be a division winner just because, in my opinion, I think the Rams are still the team to beat in the NFC West, but they'll probably be a wild card team if all things end up turning out just right for the Cardinals.
And, I think 60, 70% of their losses last year were by one possession, right? So it's not like they were losing by 20 points.
All right, coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll hear more from Jay Billis as he breaks down some of the players at the top end of the NBA draft. We'll get Jay Billis from ESPN's thoughts on Ace Bailey, as well as the projected number 1 pick, Cooper Flagg. Also, I think I heard maybe one of the best sound bites I've ever heard today from a politician. We'll play that for you as well in the 5 o'clock hour. DK on the sports tip. Dragon Ball is here telling you everything you need to know about sports here in Southern Arizona and around the world.
Well, some more awards coming in for the Arizona baseball team after another stellar season where they saw themselves in Omaha. Smith Bailey was earning freshman second-team All-American nods, and Tony Pluta...
Don't answer the phone, Smith.
Don't answer the phone, Smith. Don't answer it. But Tony Pluta also earned second-team All-American for his role with all those saves this season. So both Smith Bailey and Tony Pluta, second team for the All-American squad. Again, Smith Bailey, freshman, second team All-American. We just got done talking about the Cardinals. If you want to see the beginning of the 2025-26 season for the Cardinals, they have announced that there are going to be free attendance days for the upcoming training camp practice dates. The first one will be on Thursday, July 24th at State Farm Stadium. The first of 9 total. Fans can go and reserve up to 4 free tickets at a time. Those tickets will go and be on that on the team's mobile app. You can check out when you can see the Cardinals. And again, we just got done mentioning it earlier, but more trades in the NBA coming, and we got to go ahead and mention this. The Hawks are going to get Kristaps Porzingis from the Celtics, as there's been a 3-team trade. The Hawks get Porzingis, a second-round pick. The Celtics get George Niang and a second-round pick. And the Nets receive Terrence Mann and the number 22 overall pick in tomorrow night's NBA draft. And I'm Drango Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Crash in Oro Valley at Oracle and McGee and Oracle, and also big improvement project along 6th Street between Alvernon and Campbell. You could save time. Use Broadway or Speedway instead. 73, the overnight low, 100 tomorrow, and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Amazon Prime Day.
If you love deals, you'll love this. Prime Day is lasting 4 days this year. That's 4 days of unbelievable deals in every category you can think of, so you can save big on everything you're into. Shop Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play. Bounce pass, a walk, a slam it home. We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Sponsored by Rumble. Join millions who trust Rumble's top live streaming personalities to break down the news that matters in real time. Miss the live stream? Catch the full video replay on demand with zero censorship. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play store today and choose from thousands of creators covering everything from financial markets to daily events and more. Choose an open internet and free expression. Choose Rumble.com today.
You need parts? We got parts. Product availability? Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for $10 more, or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or import direct pads for just $20. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Yeah, Goodfellas AC.
Hi, can I get a second opinion from you guys on something?
Of course. It's what we're here for.
So, my wife's brother claimed he'd done some AC repair before.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and now there's kind of a rope and pulley situation that opens the freezer door and a fan inside turns on to cool off the house.
Huh, very creative.
Really?
No, not at all. Next time, call us first, yeah?
Yeah.
Call Goodfellas AC for free estimates and second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Back to Eugene Snarkle, rising UberTube star, and his best friend, Doug.
Eugene, you've been working on my car's brakes for 3 days now. Is there a problem? And what's with all the orange stuff on your t-shirt?
Research, Doug.
The orange stuff is research?
No, I'm doing research for my next UberTube video on fixing brakes. I need the Chizo snack food to power my 72-hour video binges. It gets a little messy, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
It looks like the only sacrifice is my car, and maybe that white t-shirt covered in Chizo dust.
So, can you hand me that metal thingy?
You mean this wrench?
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
Eugene, I need my keys. I'm heading to Jack Furrier's.
Great choice, Doug. You know, brake repair doesn't have to be expensive to be good. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we've been providing award-winning service since 1960, including top-quality brake repairs at the best prices in town. Call, stop by, or go online to make an appointment. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
The United States Soccer Federation presents the U.S. Soccer Podcast.
The United States have the lead.
The United States in full command.
And didn't she enjoy that one?
Never miss a game.
Look at the pace she puts on this ball with that little slip run. Great first touch.
Never miss a moment.
Get a hold of it.
The back of the net.
Great goal for the United States.
Goal for goal. Goal.
Yeah! The U.S. Soccer Podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. No one is talking Roadrunners, Sugar Skulls, and FC Tucson like us. We are Southern Arizona's #1 sports station, Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. DK on the sports tip. Final hour of our show today. Full shows all this week. Next week we'll be off for the holiday week. We will have U.S. Women's National Team soccer, though, tomorrow night, a week from tonight. The second of our 2 soccer broadcasts. We have the U.S. Men's National Team. In that match a few weeks ago, I think they got their asses kicked, if I remember correctly, like 4-0 or something like that. I was in Cleveland at the time, and there's a lot of concern. I think they've bounced back and played a little bit better since then, but I still think there's a lot of concern about the U.S. Men's National Soccer Team and what that's all going to look like. Meanwhile, the U.S. Women's National Team, I was looking at their roster the other day, and I think there's like one name on there that I even recognize.
Yeah, changing of the guard.
It is a complete changing of the guard. The new era of Arizona, or new era, I should say, of U.S. Women's National Team.
Rodman, right?
She's not on the team.
She's not on the team?
No, I think there's some.
What?
She's got some back issues.
Well, I know she's been injured off and on.
Yeah, so she was not listed on at least the roster that I was looking at last week, that would have been, like I said, that would have been one of the names I would have recognized. But what's the young lady from Cincinnati? Irish young lady from Cincinnati whose name escapes me right now. She's the only name that I recognized on the team. So it's going to be we got a lot of getting to know you, getting to know all about you coming up with this U.S. Women's National Team. They're going to be playing Canada, and so that'll be next Tuesday night, I should say, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290 at 4:15. That broadcast will start. So looking forward to having the U.S. Women's National Team on our airwaves next Tuesday night. All right, we were talking about the NBA draft, and I mentioned CBS Sports Network. So NBA.com, which obviously is the league's website, they did a composite of all like the top mock drafts. There was like 10 of them. ESPN Insider, The Ringer, The Athletic, Bleacher Report, Yahoo Sports, Net Scouts Basketball, CBS Sports. There were 2 between their 2 writers, Kyle Boone and Gary Parrish. Gary Parrish, who does a talk show down in Memphis. CB Nation and USA Today. So they took all 10 of those mock drafts and did a composite to come up with their final mock draft. Now, of those 10 mock drafts, there were 3 of those 10 that had Carter Bryant going to the Suns at number 10. 2 had him going 11 to the Trailblazers, and then I think he was lower after that. 2 had him going to the Hawks at 13. So 3, though, had him going to the Suns, who now have the 10th pick, which used to be the pick for the Rockets. So in terms of the composite, he's coming in right around 11 or 12, as depending on which one of these various mock drafts you are looking at. We heard from Jay Billis a little bit earlier on Carter Bryant. Let's hear from Jay Billis on a couple of guys that are closer to the top of the draft board. And there are basically about 4 guys that are considered to be in the top 4 of this thing. Cooper Flagg from Duke, Dylan Harper from Rutgers, VJ Edgecombe from Baylor, Ace Bailey also from Rutgers. Let's hear from Jay Billis on Ace Bailey, who has maybe slipped a little bit in the last few weeks.
What's happened, DK, is he canceled all his meetings. So he had scheduled meetings with a bunch of teams that could pick in that range.
Mm-hmm.
And Ace's people convinced him that he didn't need to go to any workouts. So the reason his name's been mentioned as being falling this last week of dialogue is that Ace decided that he's not going to work out for any of these teams, potentially. So that's what Mr. Billis talks about here.
Look, I have no idea what's true right now, because this is what I like to refer to as lying season, that I discount what I hear by 75%. So I have no idea. I happen to think he's the third best prospect from a talent perspective in this draft, behind Dylan Harper and Cooper Flagg as 2 and 1 respectively. But even if people say, well, he could be falling, what's he going to fall to, 7? I mean, he's not going to fall very far if he falls at all.
That is Jay Billis talking about Ace Bailey, who is a projected top 5 pick
What
in
if I
this draft.
told you Arius?
Arius.
Arious.
Is that his real first name?
Correct.
Arius Bailey.
Yes, Arius.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. That's not a bad name there. So let's see. In terms of the most common picks in this NBA.com mock, they have him. 3 people have him at falling as far as 6 in this particular draft in this composite here. So it's very interesting just to kind of see where everybody kind of comes into play with some of these mock drafts. So for whatever reason, maybe that was not the best decision by him to cancel a lot of his trips. It's interesting that I don't think we've heard a lot about the workouts.
No.
It seems like in the past, the Suns every day would be sending out stuff about who they had in and guys they had in. I don't remember hearing any of that this year. I don't know if that's a new thing where they've told them not to publicize those workouts, but I don't even the other teams. Like, we would be able to follow, like Carter. If Carter had workouts, you'd hear, okay, well, Carter was here. He was in this city or this city or this city. I don't remember hearing any of that during the NBA Finals or the NBA playoffs this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously super tight-lipped in general, but you're right. I mean, it's been even more closed doors. Whatever information is flowing, but it's gone on behind the scenes. Those guys in those war rooms, those GMs, they know who their 1, 2, and 3 options are, especially in those top picks. Whoever's available, they'll take. But my guess is, DK, there's a little bit of they don't agree. There's a little bit of disagreement on who is maybe the better prospect, and a lot of that information just doesn't come out because there's been so many players in the last, in recent memory, drafted in the top 10 who everybody talked about as being sure things can't misses, who maybe didn't pan out, and other guys talked about as being needs more time. Just think about J-Dub. I mean, he came out and was not expected to be an all-star in year 3. The Oklahoma City Thunder and their scouting department did such a great job on that pick. I think guys like him are the reason you're not hearing as much out in the public these days, because these GMs certainly know who their guy is, and they're keeping close tabs on that.
Well, there is no doubt that the consensus 1 and 2 are Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper. Let's hear from Jay Billis on Cooper Flagg's competitive nature being off the charts.
I won't go through all the attributes that he has as a player. I think he's the most complete player available in this draft. But I think what really sets him apart as a player is, one, he is ultra competitive. And you hear that a lot about players. There are a lot of players that are competitive, but if you had tiers of competitiveness, I think he would be on the top tier. As a Duke player, I happen to think he's the best freshman that Duke's ever had. And not only with the way he performed, and you could argue, wait a minute, Kyrie Irving had a higher ceiling when he came out. He's more talented, all that stuff. That's fair. And you could argue the same thing about Grant Hill. But neither of them did what Cooper Flagg did as a freshman at Duke. So that's I'm factoring in his accomplishments as a freshman and what he did. So competitiveness, number one. The second thing, and I hope I articulate this the right way. He's not looking to get numbers in a game. Like, he's not going into a game going, all right, I'm going to try to get 25 and 12 rebounds and all that. He goes into the game with a mindset of, I'm going to make the right play on this play. And so he just plays the game, and whatever it takes to make the play right in front of him, he strives to make it. And what I saw is he stacks the right play over and over again. And when he stacks the right play over and over again, at the end of the game, he may have 24 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. He up until the very end of the year, I think he led Duke in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, and blocks. And I think Kamal Malawach took the lead in blocks at the very end of the year. But there are very few players that were as productive as he was and did it in every different category. But that competitive piece, keeping it with Duke players, I kind of thought I hadn't seen that sort of competitive nature since Leitner was there. That's sort of the tier that I would put him on.
All right, that was Jay Billis talking a little bit about Cooper Flagg, projected to be the #1 overall pick Wednesday night to the Dallas Mavericks. And it'll be interesting to see how that kind of flows. I don't think there's any question that that's probably going to be there. I have not heard one single rumor that they won't take him with the #1 overall pick. But, hey, you never know.
How about the 3 months and 10 days that Mavericks fans cried into their cereal every morning and protested outside the building? Because how the hell could you trade Luka Doncic in his prime? And literally it was 3 months and 10 days later they got the #1 overall pick with a generational talent like Cooper Flagg.
Mm-hmm. The other question we'll be asking on draft night is, will Caleb Love have an opportunity to hear his name called? Caleb Love largely considered to potentially be a second-round pick in the NBA draft. Maybe, possibly, he goes undrafted. Guys, do you think Caleb gets his name called in that second round tomorrow? Or is he one of those guys who might fall out of the draft entirely and have an opportunity to pick his team, as we talked about yesterday, as a top-level undrafted free agent?
I think personally he is deserving of being selected in the second round. And the big issue Caleb Love's facing is, ever since Steph Curry splashed onto the scene in 2014-15 when he started setting NBA three-point shooting records, 6'2", 6'3" shooting guards, guys who are scoring first mentality, who are a little bit undersized to play that position, are all over the place. There's a whole bunch of guys trying to get. So it's not so much what Caleb brings to a team. It's, can he be more efficient than many of those other combo guard type players? Because you're going to be going up against, Dragon Ball, some 6'7", 6'8", ultra athletic players at that position. And that's the bit, who do you guard, is what Kelvin Ifan always says. So Caleb can certainly get his shot off. Caleb could get his shot off today versus NBA defenders. I guarantee it. However, how many of those shots go in? How efficient are you? And who does he defend are the big question marks. I think he's worthy of a late second round. I would not be surprised, EK, if that situation happened where he and his people were contacting some of those teams late in the second round and saying, please don't draft Caleb because we have a landing spot and we're thinking about going there. It really depends on fit and where he goes.
Yeah, no, in the end of the day, the NBA always looks for guys that, can you make a shot? Are you a guy that's going to be able to create your own shot and get yourself some space if you need it? Caleb Love is a very good ball handler. Caleb Love is a guy who's going to be able to be one of those just absolutely stop on a dime, step back jump shooters. And, yeah, his efficiency was always the thing that kind of went ahead and got people on the wrong side of, their opinion of him going back to his days at North Carolina. So you need to see him be more efficient. But at the end of the day, if you're confident and you can come off the bench and be that quick spark plug of offense, a team is going to take a waiver out on you and see, okay, what can you do to help our second unit? And if that ends up leading to more opportunity for him, then all the better for him. But in the end, if a guy can get up a shot and can hit a shot and isn't afraid to take it, NBA teams are going to take a notice of that and be willing to go ahead and take a look at him.
Interesting. We'll talk a little bit when we come back. Tommy Lloyd had an interesting comparison as it related to Caleb Love last week when he spoke to the media. We'll dive into that coming up next. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Do you think that Caleb Love will hear his name called on draft day? You think he'll land on an NBA team as a pick, or will he sign as a free agent? Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Freedom 1400 traffic. Collision reported I-10 near Vale on the westbound side of I-10 near Vale Road, reportedly off on the right shoulder. Earlier wreck that occurred at Oracle and McGee and Oracle. And for your weather, 73, the overnight low, 100 tomorrow and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Amazon Prime Day.
If you love deals, you'll love this. Prime Day is lasting 4 days this year. That's 4 days of unbelievable deals in every category you can think of, so you can save big on everything you're into. Shop Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Back to Eugene Snarkle, rising UberTube star, and his best friend, Doug.
Eugene, you've been working on my car's brakes for 3 days now. Is there a problem? And what's with all the orange stuff on your t-shirt?
Research, Doug.
The orange stuff is research?
No, I'm doing research for my next UberTube video on fixing brakes. I need the Chizo snack food to power my 72-hour video binges. It gets a little messy, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
It looks like the only sacrifice is my car, and maybe that white t-shirt covered in Chizo dust.
So, can you hand me that metal thingy?
You mean this wrench?
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
Eugene, I need my keys. I'm heading to Jack Furrier's.
Great choice, Doug. You know, brake repair doesn't have to be expensive to be good. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we've been providing award-winning service since 1960, including top-quality brake repairs at the best prices in town. Call, stop by, or go online to make an appointment. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcasts. So if you've been injured, make the right choice first.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
When you hear crunch, whine, boing, Alaskan AC will arrive to fix it in less than 24 hours from the first crunch, whine, boing. No matter what kind of crunch, whine, or boing your AC is making, we fix it on your schedule.
That's huge. We guarantee to be there in 24 hours or less, or the repair is free.
We not only get there fast, we Polar Bear promise we'll get the job done right. We believe you deserve fresh air free of humidity in every room of your home, and you should never hear crunch, whine, boing. If you do, call Alaskan AC, and we guarantee we'll be there in under 24 hours. If we don't make it, your repair will be free.
No matter how big the crunch,
boing, or whine.
Wait, I thought I was whine.
You're crunch. I'm crunch. You're boing. I don't think I'm boing. Gary's more of a boing than me.
William is crunch.
Schedule now and tell us who boing is. Only at AlaskanAC.com.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $749.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports, sponsored by Allstate. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have hit a speed bump on their West Coast road trip. After losing to the Golden State Valkyries last week, Indiana also fell to the Las Vegas Aces on Sunday. The Fever now have a 6-7 record on the season, and they sit in 8th place of the WNBA standings. Maybe the biggest reason for Indiana's struggles is the uncharacteristically poor shooting from Caitlin Clark. She's just 1 of 17 from beyond the arc in the 2 road trip losses.
The challenge for myself going forward is just, continue to pour into every other aspect of the game, and I can continue to have an impact in, all those other areas. I thought I got to the rim well. It was just, you got to find a way to continue to shoot and remain confident in myself, because I know I put the time in. But for me, I don't feel like it's, anything that's off necessarily. But yeah, it'd be nice if they went down.
The Fever will try to get back in the win column tonight against the Seattle Storm. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Jody Jackson on Westwood One.
The following is furnished by Excel Media Pros. Are you battling addiction? Call Rehabs America for a free consultation. Drugs and alcohol can destroy your life. Our program offers a complete medical detox plus inpatient drug and alcohol treatment. Your insurance may cover 100% of treatment. Many have already completed our program and are living substance-free lives. Call for your free consultation now. 800-210-5811. That's 800-210-5811. Hope is one phone call away. Call 800-210-5811.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/20/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management and practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You heard Jody Jackson. Always great to hear Jody Jackson. Arizona, Diamondbacks, and coverage on the Westwood One Today in Women's Sports features. Talking about the WNBA tonight. Fever and Storm, one of 4 games. The Mercury are not on the floor. They've got a bunch of days off. They won't play again until Friday, but coming off one heck of a shooting performance over the weekend in Chicago.
1 out, bottom of the 9th. Runner at first.
Talk about the three-point ability. Kitty Alaksa. Shot 2 outside. That's so nasty, Latina.
Someone better guard her.
7 on the shot clock. Sammy. Corner 3, nothing but net. Corner tray, good for Akalia Copper. AT has 5 seconds to work with. Sends it out to Sammy Wickham. Ka-ching.
They just lost her.
Kitty Alaksa off the assist from AT. The fight on the glass by Musa. Kalani Brown, okay.
It was a franchise record, that's college. Franchise, that's pro. Franchise record, 17 three-point shots made by the Mercury on Saturday in a 107-86 win over the Chicago Sky. The Mercury are 11-4. They went 4-0 on their road trip and have won 5 consecutive games in a row. Sammy Whitcomb hit 5 of those 17 three-point shots. I believe she hit all 5 of them in the second quarter of the game to finish with 17 points. Sammy Whitcomb after the game on the hot shooting Merc.
We have a lot of fantastic shooters. I think, some as specialists, but I think even, players that you maybe might not think of as three-point shooters, like, Kalani, like she's a super capable three-point shooter. I just think everywhere we have that in our spacing and the players that we have, like AT, like Sa, like Ka, that can get downhill and are such willing passers, just makes it really easy for all of us.
And then defensively for you all, it feels like come together even a little bit more over this road trip as well. Can you just speak to where the team is and where you're kind of headed now?
Yeah, I mean, we hang our hats on defense. We know that's important for us, but I think this was a really tough trip because we had the opportunity to like let excuses, kind of step up with back-to-backs and then a tough game here at 12 p.m. after like there were lots of opportunities, I think, for us but I think really showed our true character in stepping up to every occasion and knowing that like it was going to be difficult, but if we did show up every game defensively, that we'd put ourselves in a really great position. And I think we did that for 4 games.
6 different Mercury players hit at least 2 3-point shots in that game, tying the WNBA single game record for the most players to hit at least 2 3-point shots in a single game. Clay Copper came back last week. She played in 2 of the 4 games on the road, as they're still kind of staggering. They had all those games in a short amount of days, so they did not want to overdo Ka coming back. But she scored 16 points in the game and talked about the 5 straight wins for the team and the 4-0 road trip.
Shout out to the front office. I think they did an incredible job in building this team and understanding the vision Nate has for us. So, and just a shout out to my teammates for hitting shots, hitting open shots, hitting contested shots. Our post player stepping up. Lonnie got a big one. I mean, it tells you exactly who we are. We're gonna bring it every single night. We're not gonna make excuses. Whether it's a back-to-back or people are out, people are in, we're going to take care of business and we're going to compete for 40 minutes.
And interestingly enough, Clea Copper obviously missed a ton of time early in the year with injury. And when I mentioned that she has not played in all of the games since she has coming back, they had a back-to-back on that road trip. They did not play her the second night of the back-to-back. That was when they beat Connecticut on the first night and then went down and played against the Liberty. She did not play in that game against the Liberty, but Copper on how she's feeling since coming back from the injury.
I feel good. Just looking forward to just coming off a minute restriction, but in the same breath, just kind of giving myself grace and understanding that my body kind of went through a lot. So it's just a matter of just getting in a rhythm and then just continuing to be unselfish and just working through it.
Yeah, and so not only did they have to play, we mentioned this yesterday, did they have to play back-to-back, but then they had to turn around. They played a Thursday night game and had to turn around play early on Saturday. Again, that game against Chicago, but handled it well with the 107-86 win. Set a season high for points in a game for the Mercury in winning that contest. Now, interestingly enough, you heard that update there with Jody Jackson, the Fever playing tonight. The Fever have been without one of their veteran players for now going on 5 games tonight, and that's Dewana Bonner. Now, you might remember Dewana Bonner played for the Mercury for a number of years. She was like the third piece in that on those Phoenix Mercury teams early on with Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner when the Mercury were among the best teams in the WNBA, has since gone on to play with a number of other different teams. She was with Connecticut for a number of years. She was brought in by the Fever this year to kind of be that veteran presence that they felt that the team needed to go alongside Caitlin Clark and some of the younger players. Well, she's been absent from that team now because apparently the thinking now is that Dewana came into Indiana to be a starter, but for the last few weeks of the season has been coming off the bench, not to her satisfaction. So she has been away from the team now, and there's numerous reports that the Fever are probably looking to deal Dewana Bonner. Now, I don't know if you are aware that Dewana Bonner's fiance is Alyssa Thomas, who currently plays for the Phoenix Mercury. And obviously they were together for a number of years with the Connecticut Sun. Could Phoenix potentially be a landing spot again for Dewana Bonner moving forward, as they maybe look to try to add a finishing piece to get them above the Minnesota Lynx, who currently lead the Western Conference?
I mean, the Mercury have put this season together, DK, on the backs of 27-year-old rookies, right?
Exactly.
Like, a lot of players have formulated this roster who came over from stints in Europe. I will say Dewana Bonner is 37. So if you want to add a piece for a win now scenario and somebody who, clearly has chemistry with your best player, yeah, you want to if this is the year, there's only 2 teams right now in the WNBA with better records than the Phoenix Mercury. So clearly, even without Ka in the lineup, who you would think would be their best player, but it's obviously AT. I think that would be a good move if they have a need at forward. Go for it.
Yeah. So that's one to keep an eye on. Dewana Bonner potentially coming back to the franchise, the Phoenix Mercury, where she started her career. The Mercury are off until Friday night. We'll talk some more about the Mercury coming up a little bit later this week.
10 years she played for the Mercury.
Yeah,
10 years.
Yeah,
2009 to 2019.
I remember when they traded her, I was like that because she was always one of my favorite players during the time that she was here. They always seem to trade the players I really like. So, that's kind of basketball though. Players get traded.
You should write an angry Twitter letter to the GM. That's what most people do.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I don't know that I'm into the angry letter world. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. All right. Where was I going next, J-Dub? Remind me.
You were going here.
Yes.
Bradley will bring it down to Love. Angle right. Love, left-handed dribble down the lane, and he skies for the one-handed jam.
Oh, he had a runway, and he took off.
Gotta love Ryan Hansen. He had
The
a
best.
runway, and he took off. So we heard from Tommy Lloyd prior to his departure to coach the U19 club. And I thought it was interesting. One of the comparisons he gave when we were talking in the last segment about whether or not we believe Caleb Love is going to be drafted tomorrow is he gave the comparison of Andrew Nembhard, who, of course, was a member of and was a core rotation player for the Indiana Pacers team that just got exited out of the NBA Finals, but not before they made it to a Game 7. And that's a player that Tommy was very familiar with, coached him up at Gonzaga, and a player that a lot of people maybe didn't believe in or didn't have a high profile coming out of Gonzaga. But Tommy said during his press conference he always knew that Andrew Nembhard was going to be a good NBA player, and he kind of feels the same way about Caleb Love. You guys know a lot about this league. You follow it. Is that a pretty good comparison? Caleb Love, Andrew Nembhard?
Well, the thing about Andrew Nembhard is he is so calm under pressure, and he really picks and chooses when he's going to go hard off the dribble and look for his own shot, and when he's going to set his teammates up, and he does that based on what the defense is giving him. I think Caleb Love certainly could be that, and I think right now Caleb Love puts his head down and looks to get buckets, number 1, number 2, and number 3 as a priority. Not to say that he can't pass. What did he average, 3 assists this year, something like that? Nembhard averaged 6 assists as in his senior year at Gonzaga. So a little bit slightly different players, but same exact measurables. And I think if Caleb adapts to that role in the NBA, there is no doubt in my mind he could certainly be a Nembhard-type player who either comes off the bench or spots starts if the starter gets injured and be that spark off the bench to be a combo-type player. The question will be is, can you knock down the open shot? Like I said last segment, can you knock down open threes? What's your efficiency like? Because Nembhard has made his reputation on filling in for Tyrese Halliburton when he's injured. He's going to be doing that a lot next year and doing a really good job. Remember the three-pointer he hit from 25 feet over LeBron's outstretched arms to win games? Mm-hmm. Remember the 30-plus he averaged in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals last year? Nembhard has proven he can do that. Caleb can do that. The question is, where does he land? Does he get the opportunity? And can he be efficient in that role?
Well, the other part of it, too, is if you're going to compare him to Nembhard, the one thing that needs to be comparable between the two players is the defense.
Oh, man. Nembhard, I forgot. Nembhard is a great defender.
Yeah, there's a reason Nembhard was seemingly told by Rick Carlisle, I am stapling you to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
It's so great because he and Shai grew up together, right? Like they met each other when they were 8 or 9. So imagine there's no better player in the world than Andrew Nembhard to put up against a guy he's known since before they turned 10. Go guard him. Andrew Nembhard understands everything about Shai's game.
Yeah, and it's not just with Shai. I mean, Nembhard can guard anybody like that in the perimeter. That's going to be the other part of it, too. And that's one thing that Caleb really needs to go ahead and start getting. He did better this last season. Don't get me wrong. His defense was drastically improved this season compared to last with this season that he had under Tommy Lloyd and his coaching. So I'm going to look to see that because that's going to be a big part if that's going to be the comparison that Tommy wants to go ahead and
You
give him.
can't play in the NBA as a 6'3", 6'4" guard, wherever he measures at, without being able to slow other people down. It doesn't matter. Like, you have to do that. Unless you're a guy who can put up 25 plus consistently, you're asked to guard. The entire league is perimeter oriented these days. It's mostly 4 and 5 out sets. If you're a quote unquote undersized guard, DK, you have to be able to stay in front of people because it's so offensively driven these days. You got to be able to guard somebody.
Yeah, Tommy had said you couldn't have told me Andrew Nembhard wasn't going to be a good NBA player. I would have argued with you all day long because I knew he was going to be a good NBA player, a second-round pick by the Indiana Pacers, who started every single game of the NBA Finals. And so, again, we'll see where Caleb Love falls into that mix. You mentioned defense sometimes can be the decider for a lot of these teams. If they see a kid who they think can defend, that could be a reason that you're drafted over somebody that they don't think is as skilled at that end of the floor.
Since you mentioned the NBA Finals, we talked a lot about Tyrese's injury. We talked about Ben and TJ coming off, but one stat I read today that I didn't know at the time. Ben Mathurin is the youngest player in NBA Finals history, Game 7, to come off the bench and score 20 or more. So the youngest player to ever score 20 or more off the bench in a Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
There you go. An Arizona Wildcat did just that. All right, we're going to hear from a future Arizona Wildcat. Coming up, Koa Pete, who is a member of the U19 team that Tommy Lloyd is taking to Switzerland. DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Slowdowns westbound on Grant approaching I-10, also on westbound Speedway Boulevard approaching Main Avenue. Road crews will be back at it again tomorrow for road work on eastbound Ajo under I-10, 7 a.m. till 4 p.m. 73 the overnight low, 100 tomorrow, and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Crispy chicken's better in a Taco Bell taco or burrito or both. Try Taco Bell's new Crispy Chicken Taco and or burrito today at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
So hot. Hi, can I help you? Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team. But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought. This AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Sponsored by Rumble. Join millions who trust Rumble's top live streaming personalities to break down the news that matters in real time. Miss the live stream? Catch the full video replay on demand with zero censorship. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play store today and choose from thousands of creators covering everything from financial markets to daily events and more. Choose an open internet and free expression. Choose Rumble.com today.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Consistently beating industry benchmarks by over 25% isn't a fluke. It's Cumulus Digital. Smarter marketing with proof. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address. That kind of precision is why more than 4,000 businesses partner with us every month, whether they need one product or a full digital strategy. Visit cumulusdigital.com today because you're not average, and your marketing results shouldn't be either. That's cumulusdigital.com.
It's DK on the Sports Tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? Desiree Reed-Francois joins us, the voice of the Wildcats, Ryan Jeffries. We're chatting with Kim Doss, Lamont Lovett, John Elliott, Shoya High School. Ryan Hansen joins us.
Anytime you guys want me on, let me know. I love your show. Thank you for all the hard work. You guys do an amazing job. We're extremely fortunate to have you in Southern Arizona.
DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
When you hear crunch, whine, boing, Alaskan AC will arrive to fix it in less than 24 hours from the first crunch, whine, boing. No matter what kind of crunch, whine, or boing your AC is making, we fix it on your schedule.
That's huge. We guarantee to be there in 24 hours or less, or the repair is free.
We not only get there fast, we Polar Bear promise we'll get the job done right. We believe you deserve fresh air free of humidity in every room of your home, and you should never hear crunch, whine, boing. If you do, call Alaskan AC, and we guarantee we'll be there in under 24 hours. If we don't make it, your repair will be free.
No matter how big the crunch,
boing, or whine.
Wait, I thought I was whine.
You're crunch. I'm crunch. You're boing. I don't think I'm boing. Gary's more of a boing than me.
William is crunch.
Schedule now and tell us who boing is. Only at AlaskanAC.com.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. Over the weekend, John Jones retired. Jones was never knocked out, was never submitted, and never lost by decision. The only loss of his illustrious career was by disqualification. If the fight being offered to John, though, was Alex Pereira, he wouldn't have retired. Instead, Tom Aspinall is the fight being offered, including by retiring, Jones is ducking Aspinall because John thought there was a chance he could finally get a true loss in his resume to end his career by fighting Tom. And that's the real reason why this fight won't happen. I'm Zach Gelb.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the phone number. Get in on the conversation this Friday. We got a sweet deal for you from DeBella's Brunch and Booze. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. This sweet deal goes on sale at 8:30 a.m. at WildcatsRadio1290.com. DeBella's Brunch and Booze. Check it out. Sounds like a cool place. I like brunch and I like a little booze, so I might have to go.
3 great things.
Right. 3. What's the third? Brunch and booze. That's 2. Is there more than that?
Well, brunch consists of a lot of different things.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Eggs, bacon, maybe some
fresh
chicken,
fruit.
Maybe some chicken and some fruit. Yeah, there's a lot of different. You can get breakfast. You can get lunch. You can get booze. All that good stuff. Wildcats Radio 1290 on Friday. All right, we were talking about the NBA draft. I want to send this shout out, cat call, as I like to call them. But I don't know if you saw it, Courtney Ramey used to play for the Wildcats. He was a transfer into the program, played a season back in 2023. That was the year that the Wildcats lost in the first round to Princeton. But Courtney he's playing professionally now in Poland, and his team finished second in the Polish League Championship. They went all the way, speaking of Game 7s, they went all the way to Game 7 before they lost. I believe he's in a town called Lublin, Poland. The club he's with is called Start Lublin. Interesting name for a team. But his dad, Terrell, put out this post, said, I want to read it to you because it's really cool. Says, words cannot truly express how proud I am of my son, Courtney Ramey. In just his second year of professional basketball, he helped lead his team all the way to the championship series, falling just short in a hard-fought Game 7. From being one of the top players in the league to handling his finances wisely to showing real maturity while living so far from home, you've done it all with grace and purpose. I salute you, son. Now you're one of the most coveted players overseas, and this is only the beginning. Super proud dad right here. This is exactly what I raised you to be, successful, grounded, and ready for greatness. Keep going. That was Terrell Ramey, a post he made on social media about his son, Courtney, who, again, finished on the Polish League team's second team that made it to the finals and lost in a Game 7, I should say. So shout out to Courtney Ramey on a great second season of professional basketball.
One of the rare Longhorns to Wildcats transfers, right?
Yeah, you don't see that very often, for sure.
Well, it's been going the other way lately.
Indeed. 520-848-1290 is the number. Last chance for you to get in on today's show. Let's give you our Desert Diamond Casino replay for today. Speaking of old Wildcats, a incoming Wildcat is Koa Pete from up the road in Phoenix. He is going to be a member of this incoming freshman class this year for Arizona basketball. He is going to be with his soon-to-be college head coach, Tommy Lloyd, with the under-19 team for USA basketball that will compete over in Switzerland coming up starting on Friday. And Kristen Peak, who you heard from earlier in the show, she was one of the two people interviewing Carter Bryant at the NBA draft today. She was also in Colorado Springs last week for the U19 trading camp and caught up with one Koa Pete.
I'm Kristen Peak here with Koa Pete. We're at the U19 trials in Colorado Springs. Koa, you are one of the older guys and one of the leaders, in this group. How's it feel to be out there going up against this competition?
No, it always feels great, coming out here, competing with the best players in the country, kind of knowing, the ins and outs of USA basketball now because I've been here a lot. But, I'm getting better. I'm still getting better each and every day, learning from these coaches, these great coaches, just trying to take everything in like a sponge.
Speaking of coaches, the head coach is your future head coach, Tommy Lloyd at Arizona. How is it, just getting coached by him and his intensity, getting used to the flow of, what he expects from you on the court?
Yeah, it's been great, he hasn't really been talking to me much because he doesn't want, people to think he's favoriting me, but just learning from him, talking to him. I moved in on Monday, so This whole week I've been practicing with him leading up to USA now. So I'm learning his play style, and we're building trust together. So I'm just happy that he's the head coach, and I'm happy that I'm here.
And your hand is great, right?
Yeah.
It's fully healed.
Yeah.
Right, and just with the adjustment of the altitude here and just the pace of this game, how are you feeling? Are you feeling like your time off was good and healthy for you to rest, or you just dusting off the cobwebs?
A little bit of both. I feel like it was great for me to have some rest and just get in the gym, just work on my stuff, work on my body, and then coming out here, the first day was a little rusty, but then I'm into it now. I feel good. I feel like I've been performing well, so I'm happy with what I've been doing out here.
Well, you look great on the court. I know we talked about it, and I want to say the stigma around you, especially at the high school level, you're a bully ball, you're just bigger than everyone, you do whatever, but as you get older, you're still able to do that, you're still able to get to the spots. What are your intentions behind your training, just being so strong and so capable to get wherever you want on the court?
Yeah, I think that just starts in the weight room, but also just being a smart player, being skilled, being versatile, getting to my spots, shooting over people, and just playing hard, honestly. I think that takes care of everything, just having the effort.
And you come from a family of football players. Why did you choose to play basketball? I mean, everyone in your family, it seems like, has played football at the highest level, but you chose basketball. Why?
I mean, I think honestly my sisters had a big influence on me. They both played basketball throughout high school and college, so they had a big influence on me, and I just honestly love the game. I've been playing like real basketball since 7th grade, and I think I just fell in love with it going into 9th grade. I was getting offers, and I think basketball was the right choice for me.
You and the other 5-star Bryant are coming in. What are your expectations for the season?
I'm super excited. You know, he's another great player. Getting to team up with him, I think we're going to be really good for each other. I think we'll both eat off each other, and then also having the vets that are already there, coming in with them and playing with them. I think our ceiling's really high. I think we just got to put the work in, and we'll see the results.
How do you stay present, you know, as like a 5-star elite player with a lot of attention? How do you stay present in this moment right now, USA basketball, and not getting too far ahead to the season or the future of your career?
I think just trusting my work. I put in a lot of work into this game, so just trusting my work. And then just being a kid, honestly. I like playing basketball, like just coming out here playing basketball. I want to play as much basketball as I can, so I'm happy to be here.
Game you're most looking forward to? Again, when you're at Arizona next year?
Probably our first game. We play against Florida, so it'll be a good one. The reigning national champs. I'm excited.
All right, well, Koa, good luck, and thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, that was Kristen Peak with Koa Pete, Peak, P-E-K, E-E-K, Pete, P-E-A-T. And that is your Desert Diamond Casino replay, brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. It is America's best bet.
Also tagged in a little spelling lesson there, too.
There you go. Absolutely. We got to give it all to you for sure. Looking forward to that game against Florida. I think we're all kind of looking forward to taking on the national champions. It's going to be a great way to open the season.
Before that starts, I'm looking forward to Friday's game. I'm looking forward to just seeing what some of these young players that they got coming into college basketball next year, because there's a laundry list of great players on this U19 team, including Koa Pete. I know he had a bit of an injury last year, so I'm going to be watching those games this weekend. They play 3 games. Looking forward to seeing what he looks like moving around there and seeing how healthy he looks.
All right, head on over right now to Twitter. Our question of the day, we just got it up. What we were talking about last segment, should the Mercury go out and sign or trade for, I should say, Dewana Bonner, longtime Mercury forward, first 10 seasons, won a couple of titles with Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner. Should they go out and get Dewana and bring her back to the desert? Head over to Twitter right now. It's our question of the day, and you can vote there. We'll have more on that as we go through the week. We'll keep an eye on things and see if the Fever indeed make the decision to deal Dewana Bonner. That is going to wrap up our show for today. Thanks to everyone that was involved. Cricket, J-Dub, Dragon Ball. Thanks to all of you. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. And most of all, we thank you for listening. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. DK on the Sports Tip. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Ajo and 12th Avenue and Ajo Way with a reported crash. Some slowing westbound Grant at I-10 and also on westbound Speedway Boulevard approaching Main Avenue. Weather-wise, 73 the overnight low, 100 tomorrow, and at 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
People always say, Ryan, why don't you take it easy? Relax a little bit. Well, that's what the Staples Easy button is for. Just press it for quality products, friendly experts, and services like print, travel, or shipping, because we can't do it all. All right, guys? Thanks, Staples. That was easy.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission, $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-291-0376. 800-291-0376. 800-291-0376.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Yeah, Goodfellas AC.
Hi, can I get a second opinion from you guys on something?
Of course. It's what we're here for.
So, my wife's brother claimed he'd done some AC repair before.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and now there's kind of a rope and pulley situation that opens the freezer door and a fan inside turns on to cool off the house.
Huh, very creative.
Really?
No, not at all. Next time, call us first, yeah?
Yeah.
Call Goodfellas AC for free estimates and second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com. Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Sponsored by Rumble. From spicy podcasts to wild live streams, there's always something new on Rumble. Watch, comment, and connect with a real community that's actually awake. Comment in the live chat and talk directly to your favorite streamers. Rumble provides you with your daily dose of uncensored fun, facts, and fire. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play Store today. Choose an open internet and free expression. Choose Rumble.com today. Honey, our yard looks like a jungle. It's full of weeds, and the neighbors are complaining, you know.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using just doesn't work. Not to mention, I don't have the time.
You know, it's not just the weeds. I'm also seeing ants and the spider, a scorpion. I saw a scorpion, and I think there's a pack rat living in the garage.
I get it.
It's scary.
I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today and get rid of them all.
You're the best, honey.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
When Ram won its first Motor Trend Truck of the Year, it was celebrated. But after 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. And now, so does the deal with Employee Pricing Plus. Stop by your local dealer today and take home a Ram truck. Ram, 7-time Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Nothing stops Ram.
Offer valid on select 2024 and 2025 Rams for non-FCA employees and retirees. $200 admin fee applies. Not all buyers will qualify. Restrictions apply. Does not apply to leases. See dealer for details. And 6/30/25. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Yeah, Goodfellas AC.
Hi, can I get a second opinion from you guys on something?
Of course. It's what we're here for.
So, my wife's brother claimed he'd done some AC repair before.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and now there's kind of a rope and pulley situation that opens the freezer door and a fan inside turns on to cool off the house.
Huh, very creative.
Really?
No, not at all. Next time, call us first, yeah?
Yeah.
Call Goodfellas AC for free estimates and second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play. Bounce pass, a walk, a slam it home. We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290, your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
You're listening to the JR Sport Brief.
It is the JR Sport Brief Show here with you on the Infinity Sports Network. I'm coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you to everybody tuned in, locked in all over North America. I hope you have had a tremendous Tuesday. If you're a Boston Celtics fan, I don't know how you feeling. You trading away Porzingis, he gone. He's in Atlanta. You traded away Drew Holiday, he gone. He's up in Portland. Yeah, things are changing for Boston. And we got more changes coming in the NBA. What a world. Got the NBA draft tomorrow. Cooper Flag expected to go number 1 overall. What comes after that, we have no idea. We might have some more trades. Durant is already down in Houston. We had a parade today in OKC. Man, we even had words that, a confirmation that the NFL owners colluded to pretty much prevent future guaranteed contracts. What a world. There's so much going on. Aaron Rodgers told everybody today he's pretty sure this is going to be his last season. And so in the case of the NBA rookies, we have some beginnings. In the case of Aaron Rodgers, apparently it's the end. How much more we got of this guy? Anyway, you got an hour more of me. I get started at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. You can always tune in on the free Odyssey app, your local Infinity Sports Network affiliate. You got Sirius XM, it's channel 375. You got a smart speaker, ask it to play the Infinity Sports Network. 888-710-4ISN. That's 888-710-4ISN. I'm in Atlanta. Thank you so much to our producer, Ryan Botcher, holding things down in New York City. I told you it's been an eventful day. It's been an eventful 24 hours for the Boston Celtics. Last night, we learned about Drew Holiday being shipped along with his contract to Portland in exchange for Anthony Simons. And then it was a few hours ago that we learned that Kristaps Porzingis has been moved from the Boston Celtics to the Atlanta Hawks. The Brooklyn Nets are involved. They pick up some picks, and George Niang, he makes his way up to Boston in exchange for Porzingis. Terrence Mann goes to Brooklyn along with picks. And so the Celtics are certainly doing what it's been said. They were not going to be a second apron team. They were not going to be taxed to the gills. Shams Charania has said this back on June 11th as he spoke to Pat McAfee.
The other big ticket item I think this offseason is the Celtics, and what are they going to do? And the primary focus, from my understanding, with the Celtics offseason has been Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Sam Hauser. Their trade markets. Hauser? Now, are teams making big offers and calling about Jaylen Brown and Derek White? 100%. The Celtics prefer not to trade him, from my understanding, but listen, if they get a big offer, they have to look at everything, and I think they're going to get offers on the three guys that they're focused on. They're going to get offers potentially on Derek White and Jaylen Brown, and I think between now and the draft and free agency, they're going to evaluate what makes sense from a value perspective, and that's where they're going to move.
Everybody but Tatum?
Essentially.
Well, we've seen what they've done already. They moved two guys who were big parts of the championship squad last year. Drew Holiday more so than Kristaps Porzingis. But the Boston Celtics, they may not even be done yet. And thank you so much to Noah Dalzell for joining us from SB Nation. She covers all things Boston Celtics. She came by and gave us her thoughts. And then also thank you to Matt Powers. He joined us earlier on in the show, NBA draft expert from Swish Theory. Yeah, things are not done. And so what the Celtics do, is there more? Any trade that they make after this is going to be absolutely nuts. Because who else are they moving? You got Brown. We know Tatum is not being traded. And then you have Derek White. I mean, well, are the Celtics going to move either one of those guys? It'd have to be a massive return. 888-710-4ISN. That's 888-710-4ISN. Tim is here from Maine. He knows about, I guess, the Celtics and Cooper Flag. Tim, you're on the JR Sport Brief Show. What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
I
Yes.
I see a lot in comparison to Cooper Flag and Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. First of all, I am a Mainer and really rooting for Cooper Flag. Followed him all along since high school.
Great.
In regard to the Caitlin Clark Cooper Flag comparison.
Wait. Tim, hold on a second. Who's making this? Who's making this? We had a guy who said he was asking about Cooper Flag and Keith Van Horn, and now you're making the comparison between Cooper Flag and Caitlin Clark. Is that what you're doing?
This is just my opinion.
Okay, go for it.
I agree with you big time on the Keith Van Horn comparison. I just see similarity that they're both very talented, but I think they may find that it might be a challenge with the speed and the physicality I've seen in Caitlin Clark's case.
What? Well, Tim, what? Did you see what Caitlin Clark did last year?
Yes.
She didn't have no problems in the league. Okay, they came back from the Olympic break, and Caitlin Clark broke their asses. Like, there's no issue with Caitlin Clark and the physicality of the WNBA. She was talking trash to Connecticut Sun last week and putting up threes in their faces. There's no issues with Caitlin Clark, man.
I think that she kind of been roughed up on occasion, and
well, they have attempted to. Yes, she's been fouled hard. Yes, they've been players who are jealous of her that try to take her out. But to say that Caitlin Clark is having issues with the physicality of the WNBA, no, that is not accurate.
Speed-wise, too, I think that there's a big
Tim.
difference.
All right, Tim. All right. Well, thank you. Anything else?
Well, I just think he's 18 years old, as you mentioned, and that might be
well, Tim,
hard ride with some of the big boys in the NBA.
Well, Tim, I want to remind you, LeBron James played against him last year. You know, I don't know. My opinion, your opinion, LeBron James' opinion, I don't know which one I'd go with. But it was quite apparent that Cooper Flag, in an Olympic run against United States Olympic athletes, who some of them are in their 30s, they're much older than him, they're bigger and stronger. He had a stretch where he hung in there with them without an issue. So I will remind you of that, but I think maybe taking precedent over it all, Tim, I want you to listen to what LeBron James had to say about Cooper Flag.
I personally think that he wants to be great, a guy that can do so many different things on the floor, can play with the ball, can play without the ball. You know, his jump shot is going to continue to get better, super athletic, quick second jump. And also, he has the benefit, unlike myself, he gets to join a team that's established with Hall of Fame guys, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, right off the bat, Hall of Fame coach Jason Kidd. They can give him the whole blueprint while he continues to learn what his blueprint will be. And I think that's going to be an incredible thing for him to have. So I think he's going to be amazing.
All right, Tim, did you hear LeBron James say that he's fast, has a quick first step, and he's athletic? Did you hear that?
I agree very much. I think the Olympic comparison, that's a very short season, and the NBA will be a very long season. I hope that you and LeBron are correct.
Oh, my God. Okay, well,
big time.
All right, Tim.
I want him to succeed.
Well, why are you so down about it? Of course, there's an adjustment going from college to the pros. Of course, all of a sudden having to be tasked with playing 82 games. And it wasn't an Olympic season. And the point isn't so much about whether or not he's going to have the stamina to play. I think he will. He's 18 years old. Of course, he's going to hit a wall. Of course, he's going to get tired. Of course, his body has to get used to doing this. The point is, when it comes to him as a singular talent, he possesses the physical skills to play in the NBA. I don't think it's a matter of you hope, me and LeBron are right. Thank you so much for putting me in the category of LeBron James when it comes to basketball information. I'm just going to go by what LeBron says. I'm going to go by what my eyes have shown me. I expect him to come in, struggle, have good games, have bad games. I expect for him to have a bad game and people to overreact. I expect to see him have a great game and people overreact. That's a part of being a rookie. That's your guy from Maine. He's proud to be from Maine. Tim, listen to Cooper Flagg. Rep yo state.
Yeah, I mean, it's been incredible. Talking about Maine United, being with my guys that I was with since 5th grade, staying with them and playing AAU all the way up through was amazing. And I think, being able to prove, to the state of Maine that it doesn't matter, if people say that, like, nobody comes from Maine, like, you can't make it as a basketball player and things like that. I think that's a huge message that I like to, try and send and, prove. And, it could be even bigger than Maine, and anything could be from anywhere in the world, just proving that it doesn't matter where you're from and if people believe in you or not, that you just got to believe in yourself.
No, believe in yourself. Oh, how sweet. Tim, just take it easy, okay, Tim? I wouldn't worry about Cooper Flagg. I think you'll be perfectly fine. And then speaking of his new team, the Dallas Mavericks, apparently we have some news about one of his teammates. Botcher, what's the deal with Kyrie Irving?
So Kyrie Irving is opting out of his $43 million player option and intends to sign a 3-year new contract, 3 years, $119 million. So a little bit less AAV, but a 3-year deal for Kyrie.
Good for him. I mean, I don't know how Kyrie Irving is going to age. I mean, given the fact that he is already 33 years old, he's had a history of injuries dating back to his time at Duke. Kyrie Irving isn't someone that I just, hand over a 3-year deal, taking him into his age, 33, 36 season, given the fact that he just blew out his leg. And it seemed that that was, well, he's always been injury prone. But then also you think about his usage. Yeah, that's going to be tough. But if you're the Dallas Mavericks and you've already invested into bringing him in, why the hell not? I mean, there were massive concerns when he was in Brooklyn about whether or not he'd get another gigantic contract. And God bless him. I mean, for everything that took place a few years ago with his tweets and his messages and COVID and what have you, he got himself a new contract. And so 3 years, $119 million extension with the Dallas Mavericks. So there's going to be some comfort that even if he misses almost all of this upcoming year, that he will be sticking around for another one. And so good luck and congratulations to Kyrie Irving in that regard. I don't think that changes anything for the Dallas Mavericks and me. I know that we can take a look at Nico Harrison, who talked about, the importance of going out here and trying to win now. I just think he hitched his horse to two old, broken down players. And that's Anthony Davis and Kyrie. And so at least Cooper Flagg is there. You can go ahead and build off of him. Everything after that is pretty much debatable. 888-710-4ISN. That's 888-710-4ISN. Cooper Flagg isn't the only big name that we've been hearing about. I'm pretty sure at this point you've heard about Ace Bailey out of Rutgers, the man who had a workout schedule with the Philadelphia 76ers and then declined. And has pretty much declined any type of workout. Had one set up with the Sixers and then just said, no thanks. And so today, ahead of the NBA draft, as a lot of the prospects are sitting down with the media, they're asking. They're like, what's going on? And today, Ace Bailey, he's played the I don't know nothing, I ain't seen nothing, I can't tell you nothing, I'm just here. This is what he had to say to Monica McNutt on ESPN about his decision to just not work out.
Focus on basketball. I mean, end of the day, it's basketball. I mean, don't worry about the other stuff. I let my people around me handle that. The only thing I'm focused on is the basketball part.
Speaking of the basketball part, Dylan has been your right-hand man, your partner in crime. How has sharing this journey with him made it more unique?
A blessing. I mean, let me know that I got my day one next to me. Let me know all the blood, the sacrifice we put together in the gym ourselves. I mean, from the late nights in the gym, from the early mornings, it's finally paying off, and we got a lot more to do.
Yeah, that's in reference to his teammate with Rutgers, Dylan Harper Jr., son of Ron. Look, they must know something that I don't know. He believes in the people around him, his family. I think his aunt played in the WNBA. That's not the NBA. There's familiarity here when it comes to basketball. Paul George was actually on his own podcast, P Podcast, and what a world. Paul George still podcasting. He pretty much said that he thinks that the information that he's getting is not good advice. And so he could be costing himself millions and millions of dollars. But if he wants to go to a team and he wants to jack up shots, and that's going to show everybody that he's deserving of a contract extension in a few years, then that's the thought. Does he want to go to a well-established team? Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he wants to play for the Wizards. Maybe he wants to be Jordan Poole. I have no idea. We're going to find out tomorrow how much this is going to impact his draft stock. Of course, it's not the NFL. He's not going to fall like Shedeur Sanders did into multiple days. But this is certainly going to affect where he's drafted. We're going to find out in about 24 hours from now. 888-710-4ISN. That's 888-710-4ISN. When we come back on the other side, I did mention to you, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow. The NFL was in the news today. Not for Aaron Rodgers and saying that he's getting ready to quit. We'll talk about that too. But apparently the NFL owners colluded to stop guaranteed salaries after you-know-who, Deshaun Watson, got his from the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to talk to you about that. We'll hear from Aaron Rodgers about hanging him up. Of course, we'll talk about a few things that took place this day in sports history. We have so much more to do. You want to call me? You can. 888-710-4ISN. Don't be afraid of how Cooper Flagg is going to turn out. It's the JR Sport Brief Show, the Infinity Sports Network.
Here's a life-saving stat for you. Did you know that every 40 seconds someone in the U.S. has a stroke and that 80% of those cases are preventable? So how can you manage your heart health at home, on summer vacation, or between doctor's visits? You can with the most advanced personal EKG on the market. KardioMobile 6L is the world's first FDA-cleared 6-lead personal EKG. It can detect up to 6 of the most common arrhythmias, including AFib, a leading cause of stroke, and it gives you 6 times the data of any smartwatch at a fraction of the cost. Now, you may think it would be hard to use, but it's not. It's so simple. Records right to your phone, anytime, anywhere. To make it even easier, right now, KardioMobile 6L is 10% off. Just go to Kardia.com. That's KARDIA.com or Amazon and use code 10-6L Infinity. That's the number 10. 6L Infinity to get 10% off your KardioMobile 6L today. There's no better time to manage your heart health than right now. Sponsored by AliveCor.
If you're on Medicare and living with diabetes, listen closely. You may qualify to get the latest diabetic supplies, including CGMs, at little or no cost to you. Just call 800-219-6867. VeraMed Health is a trusted Medicare-approved national provider that delivers high-quality diabetic supplies right to your door with free home delivery and no extra hoops to jump through. They handle everything from working with your doctor to managing the insurance paperwork, so you don't have to. If you're ready to take control of your diabetes, the best call you can make today is to VeraMed Health. Their expert team will verify your insurance quickly, and if you qualify, they'll have your supplies delivered, and shipping is always fast and free. Call 800-219-6867. That's 800-219-6867. Don't wait. Get started today with VeraMed Health. Call 800-219-6867. Call right now. VeraMed Health is not a healthcare provider. Please consult with your physician.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos out fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Are you an annoying coworker? Sending emails when everyone else is sleeping? Do they ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have knowledgeable sleep experts that can help you find a better bed, like a Tempur-Pedic. It has technology to keep you cool at night, meaning anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Looking for a lunch spot with a twist? Come to DeBella's Brunch and Booze, a family-owned gem serving up unique eats like the Cluck and Oinker Monte Cristo, the green chili pulled pork, and their decadent cinnamon-baked apples. Pair your meal with a cold brew coffee, a bubbly mimosa, or a refreshing draft beer. Relax and enjoy it all on their spacious patio with stunning views of the surrounding area. They're open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. so you can satisfy your cravings any day of the week. Find them at 9630 North Oracle Road. Follow on Facebook to stay updated on the latest specials and events. DeBella's Brunch and Booze, where local flavor meets unforgettable taste.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from DeBella's Brunch and Booze. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Hi, this is Arizona Wildcats softball head coach Caitlin Lowe, and you're listening to the home of Arizona Athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
You're listening to the JR Sport Brief.
You are so logical about your thoughts, how you go about breaking things down. You give everybody a little bit of credit. It doesn't matter who they are. You just don't throw out nastiness and negativity. So thank you for just being an upfront, great dude. I want to tell you that first and foremost, and your show is awesome, man.
Here's JR.
It is the JR Sport Brief Show here with you coast to coast on the Infinity Sports Network. Well, somebody who might do the opposite of that every now and then is Aaron Rodgers. He popped back up on Pat McAfee earlier today. Aaron Rodgers wasted no time in letting everybody know that this year, I'm about to be done. I think we all kind of knew that. Listen to what he told Pat McAfee.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a one-year deal. Steelers didn't need to, put any extra years on that or anything. So, this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I mean, I played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run, and I've enjoyed it. And what better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL?
Love and peace. This is what he's doing it for. Love and peace. Okay, all right, good for Aaron Rodgers in that regard. Speaking of love and peace, we know that really doesn't exist in the NFL. We also learned today that through a special investigation that the NFL owners, what a surprise, they colluded to prevent any additional future guaranteed contracts after the Cleveland Browns decided to look at Deshaun Watson and go, here's $230 million, even though you had about approximately 24 cases of sexual assault levied against you. Why the hell not? You don't have market correction for the Browns. And so this isn't something that was widely reported. Let's be real. The majority of the television distributors have a relationship with the NFL. They're not going to bite, quote unquote, the hand that feeds them. Or pretty much they're not going to try to take a crap on a business partner by putting out terrible news. Like sometimes there are things that you can't avoid. This is apparently one of them. This is what Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk had to say about the NFL, pretty much trying to put their foot on the necks of the Players Association and the players.
What happened was Deshaun Watson gets his fully guaranteed contract. The Management Council tells the teams to collude, encourages them to collude, and then they just don't. But when we look at the evidence as it relates to 3 quarterbacks, and this is the other thing that I really didn't expect until I saw the document. There are details in there about specific contractual negotiations that we never have seen before. It's a look behind the curtain that's unprecedented for Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and Russell Wilson. All of them who negotiated their contracts at or about the time Watson got his deal and then finished the negotiations later.
Well, we know Lamar Jackson, he had his contract pretty much completed the day of the NFL draft a couple seasons ago. Apparently, Lamar Jackson, he wanted a fully guaranteed deal. Eric DeCosta, the GM of the Baltimore Ravens, was just like, no. Lamar Jackson then just said, well, I want to be traded. He asked, hey, well, what teams do you want to be traded to? Lamar Jackson didn't respond. And then it was right before the draft that he tendered him a new contract without the fully guaranteed language. And Lamar Jackson, I guess, realized, okay, I don't have too much of a market, and he accepted the deal. Apparently, Lamar Jackson, not apparently, we know that he's lobbying for a new contract right now. Both he and the Ravens are having discussions. He's probably going to get paid north of $60 million jumping ahead of Dak Prescott. But this is what Florio had to say about Lamar Jackson's situation before he got his deal a few years ago.
Lamar's probably pissed that this is all getting out there. My guess is he's pissed. So then, and DeCosta said, as the time the draft is approaching in 2023, he's assuming he's moving on without Lamar Jackson. They're probably looking at quarterbacks in the 2023 class. What can we do? If we're not going to have Lamar, we need to do something. But they made one last offer to Lamar, and to DeCosta's surprise, that's directly from the document, to his surprise, Lamar accepted.
Yeah, well, look, can anybody be surprised? And I joke about it. You got a bunch of billionaires sitting in a room, eating the finest of cheese and steak and hors d'oeuvres for these NFL meetings and nice conference rooms or caves, lights. And then they're being rich, you know what? Like, what are we talking? We don't think that NFL owners sit around and wink, and not even so wink. Maybe some of them are smart enough not to have it documented. Don't talk to Gruden about documenting things. He might send you an email still. We don't think these owners sit around and just go, man, you see what that idiot, you see what them Haslam's did over there? They gave that man $230 million guaranteed. Now I got to pay my guy $230. He will not get off my ass about a guaranteed contract. Man, let's not do this anymore. Man, I'm with you.